wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
There's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, I have a very low black population.
We're the whites. Nobody ever cares if bad things happen to us anymore.
Out of Time Beats. Out of Time Beats. Out of Time Beats. JLY. JLY.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
I'm not trying to add nothing to what you're saying. I think what you're saying is reasonable. If he could have got somebody, that's maybe an option he should have took. The only thing I'm saying is because he
broke
won,
that nigga's phone. Like what?
What is what I'm saying?
We basically. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying he won. I mean, I'm saying he was right because he won. You know what I'm saying? If you win, you made the right decision. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you win, you made the right decision. It just is what it is. It is, and I'm saying from a victim standpoint, not somebody starting something. But if you're a victim and you simply won out the situation, whatever decision you made, just pat yourself on the back. You did the right thing.
Let me add to that.
I think wait. I think wait, bro.
The victim had the moral right to defend himself, and he had the high ground. Anybody can't see that, they're clueless about.
I agree with that. I agree with that. That's true. Listen, I don't think that any man should be basically forced to retreat at every opportunity because he's in some prestigious position. That should not be a standard. I understand that he could have, and you say that, with sincerity, and I agree with you, he could have handled it differently. That is true. But he didn't because he thought that was the best circumstance for himself. Now that's okay. Now he should be treated fairly in that respect. He did what he thought he needed to do. Now, in terms of how this looks when he brings this to trial, I guess, if he chooses to go by trial, it should be expressed that he was within his legal rights to defend himself because he was point blank period, and he did the right thing from top to bottom. That's the case to me. Now, he retreated, as far as I can tell, at multiple different intervals during this interaction because of what I don't know who brought it up earlier, said that he retreated, from the tent, and the escalation took place in the bleachers somewhere far away from the initial incident where the young man was stabbed. Then ultimately, I think we have evidence that he already tried to de-escalate. He already tried to retreat. In fact, even after the fact, his phone was broken. So this whole idea around him trying to call the authorities was pretty much out the window. We all know that unless you have a campus police officer on the site, and unless they were chaperoning that particular game, unless they have a history of violence at their school, it's unlikely, right? So unless it was an inner city school, which this doesn't seem to be the case, it shouldn't even be a discussion around him retreating at that point. He had retreated far enough. I think what you're saying ultimately, like I said earlier, it boils down to at every opportunity, if you're in an advantageous situation, you have the responsibility damn near to retreat, which is insane to me.
So hold on, damn it, hold on. Because PK just won the whole case. PK just won the whole case. Look, if the encounter started in the tent, but ended in the bleachers, where's the case here? Where is the case?
Is that what happened though?
What happened? It ended in the bleachers because they kept getting on them.
So basically, the guy pursued and continued the encounter outside of the actual initiation point in which this started. So where?
Go ahead.
So I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say this. That stabbing cost him his Harvard dream. That stabbing cost him a scholarship at Chicago. That stabbing cost him, maybe a scholarship at Columbia.
Can we go back to
with all due respect to that, there are greater things that a black man can be in life than simply attend an Ivy League school. Well,
it's one of them, and I mean, it might have cost him even if he, let's say, God willing, he gets off, right? God willing, he gets off, right? Found not guilty, God willing, he gets off. Then what?
Keep living your life. And
he'll live his life and build up his life like anything else. And guess what? When black people in America really figure out what the hell they need to do, he'll be okay. He'll be a hero.
Yeah, but he could have been excellent.
Just on this last point you guys were talking about, did everything occur within the tent, or then there's a follow-up event outside of the tent in the bleachers?
The situation ended in the bleachers.
Right. And let me say real quick, shout out to Floyd Thompson. I think he was trying to make his way to authorities, got grabbed, and then stabbed Austin. # long live the habitual line step.
Where's the case? Where's the case here?
Well, the only reason that there is to me, this is all very much cut and dry. The issue is just the white kid died and the black kid didn't. And that's why this is turned into a thing. It's you know what I'm saying? Because if this was just two random white people, it'll be looked at totally different. If it's two random black people, it's looked at totally different. It's just the white kid died. If this was a situation where the white kid killed the black kid, again, we'd have a total different situation going on here. At the end of the day, they would have said we have to do an investigation because it's necessary due to the rules. We're pretty sure everything will be all right. The one kid was defending himself, and we can't. Everybody has a right to defend themselves, and people would have been brushing the situation off. But in this point, it's just the white kid died. Had the black kid died, everybody got a right to self-defense.
I got a better example, Roger. If this was a whole records, we wouldn't defend this man. This man would not we want to defend this man, but this man came from a 2-parent household. He got 4.0 GPA. He's in a track meet, never been in trouble. Don't try to stay out harm's way, but they came towards him.
Well, it was definitely in the bleachers. There's images of them covering up where the stabbing occurred, and they also showed there's images. I'm going to post it. There's no case here. There is no case here at all. That boy was trying to get the hell out of the way, and the guy kept on pursuing him, and he stabbed.
If he pursued him to a different location, that makes it even worse for. The longer this goes, the more that's probably going to come out. They're going to see that this Austin Metcalf guy was.
Hold fast, y'all. I got a super chat. Shout out to how you pronounce this? Corwiller, I guess. Corwiller. Or maybe that was, I don't know. Corey LR. I don't know how you would pronounce this. I have no idea. So no disrespect on that. But he said, y'all feelings don't matter. He's getting life. And I'm going to say you're probably wrong on this one. You're probably wrong. Now, I'm going to agree with they're probably going to try to give him life. The situation is that other people got phones. There's no telling how much of footage was taken. The thing is, were kids smart enough to keep it? Because I understand a child giving their phone up to adult police officers because they're going to be viewed as authorities. So you're going to give it up. But footage may come out because this is a stadium full of people. And what happens normally when a fight starts? Kids start paying attention.
I posted it in the back chat and in the main chat, the image, and you can see where the tent is, and you see them covering up the area where the stabbing occurred, which is in the bleachers. So he was pursuing that boy. That's what happened. And that's why I got to the point in which in which he was saying, "Don't touch me," and he reached in his bag. That's what happened.
Right, so that's why I said earlier, it seems like a clear case from top to bottom. I don't see how you could argue it any other way. Now, what they decide to do inside that courtroom could, like T4 mentioning here, could be something else. But if, we're going to have a quote-unquote justice system, right? But that's a different can of worms. Nonetheless, though, this thing's pretty damn cut and dry clear. He did what he had to do. It's unfortunate that it escalated to death, but it was the right thing to do, period. And, he should get off, period. No consequences. He should be able to continue his, scholastic endeavors and go on to be great.
Yeah, this is just a case of...
Yeah, that's really the case, and nothing should be pulled from him. And he should be exonerated.
No elite school is for the...
Let me interject something. I hope Carmelo parents get a lawyer and run them through the ringer and have the evidence.
Look at that image. That's just a damn tent. That's not no special tent or no special place. Look at the image. Look at it. It was raining and some folks got under a tent. That was it.
And let me say this. If they don't let that boy off, God see everything. Don't be surprised if you see all these natural disasters hit that area. Mark my words, because God is tired of this kind of stuff happening to our people. Why y'all think all this stuff is going on in the first place, these natural disasters? Y'all better think about it.
Yep. Now
I'm going to gather yourselves together, oh nation not desired.
Now I'm going to say this. When it comes down to it, like I said, the only reason this is just not clear and the reason that this is even an issue is just because adults are making it racial. This is a clear situation. A guy got attacked. A guy defended himself. He came out victorious. If he's a white guy with any other guy, he's fine. But the thing is, we got a nigga. Now let's get that nigga on that hook and let's not let him off. That's why they came up with that $1 million bond.
And let's confiscate all the images so can't nobody see what really happened. Because if you see what really happened just from that image there, that looks like that they left the scene of the initial encounter The boy was pursued and he defended himself. And that you will probably see on a damn video, which is why we have not seen the video yet.
Yeah, so that was either that, or is that where the body was moved so that where they were trying to save his life?
Where's the blood under the tent, though?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I'm
why
just,
I posted the image.
Well, kid, you gotta remember, this is a 17-year-old who's seen his brother get stabbed down. He ain't moving that body nowhere. He's just trying to save his brother's life.
Yeah.
He don't have the.
And here's a question.
Well, hold on.
I'm with you guys.
He don't
The
have
further
the
this goes,
hold on. Doc. I'm saying he don't have the wherewithal to try to create a situation favorable for a police matter. He's a 17-year-old kid. That's not gonna happen.
He said something to the boy because he's a big bad football player. He was probably surprised that the black boy said something back at him. It went back and forth, back and forth. It got physical. The black boy tried to walk away. He still tried to play big black bad football player and got his ass stabbed. That's what happened. We know that's what happened.
And his mama made a statement that says, yeah, he's supposed to do this type of stuff. He's the guy to step up and do this type of stuff.
That's what his mama said.
And then the father,
And here's a question.
I think he knows something that nobody else knows, that his son been doing, bullying people. That's why he said it's not a racial matter, because he knows his son's been doing this for a long time, I think.
Well, the thing is, they don't look at it.
Well,
they probably don't look at it as bullying. They just look at it as they're white people living white life. That's what I'm saying. Austin, in his heart, probably really didn't think he was doing anything wrong. He just got caught up by growing up in a white supremacist world. And he made a bad decision because he thought it was up to him to make that nigga move.
Well, guess what though, Roger? One have custody. The other twin has custody with his mom. He lived with his mom, and the other one lived with his father. So that should tell you something.
It tell me they got a broken family. That's what it's.
Yeah, now remember what the father said. The father said all this training starts at home, right?
Twins couldn't get along.
Didn't the father say that in that long interview, that 16 minutes? He said it starts at home. He said it multiple times. So what's he teaching his son?
No, he definitely starts at home. That's what I'm trying to tell you. These people do not see themselves in the wrong. That's why he made that statement. He was really trying to take a shot at the black family. When the truth be told, the shot is really to him. You the one raised your son to bother
he told the white supremacists that, I had trained my son to kill niggas. When he was talking about that pig killing stuff.
Yeah.
Don't y'all know that's in the Bible too? Wait a minute. Don't y'all know that's in the Bible that they would do that type of stuff to our people and claim themselves blameless? That's in the Bible.
Yeah. No, I'm saying him making the point of emphasizing that pig killing was dog whistling there.
Yeah, well, the Christian stuff was dog whistling too. The Christian stuff, the pig thing.
No, good.
It starts in the home. That was the dog whistle.
Killers. I raised my son to be a good Christian white killer. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, we was gonna be on the Crusades in a couple of years. You just didn't give us time.
And didn't the mother and the father do two separate interviews? They were never together at any point. They were never together.
There are no pictures of them together. There are no pictures of them together.
So you got Carmelo Anthony raised in a good home with two parents.
Well, this is why my stance is technically he's still a kid because he didn't have his 18th birthday. I'm not going to judge kids the same way I judge adults. And when it comes down to it, the issue simply was he's been raised to be a white supremacist. He's been having white supremacist messaging for his whole life. So he thought it was his job to tell that nigga to move. And that nigga didn't move fast enough for him, obviously. So he
didn't work out in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like I was gonna, like I said, hey, can you hear me?
I think it's
hey yo, can you hear me?
Worse than that. Let me finish. I think it's worse than what you said, Roger, because the boy did move. He did move, but what happened is the white boy was all up in his white boy shit and kept coming at him. That's what happened. That's how you go from the tent to the bleachers. Y'all know how shit go down You start right over here. You go back and forth. You go back and forth. Motherfuckers still talking shit. You walking away. Motherfuckers still talking shit. They encroaching. You walking away. He grabbed you. Nigga, you gonna do what I tell you to do. The guy turned around and stabbed his ass.
And I said it from the start. This is advanced darkness. This is Heart of Darkness. This is the jungle drum. This is the fertility goddess of chaos. They're literally going to eat your balls. They're going to cut your fucking nuts off and eat them.
Whoa, what? They're gonna what?
We're the whites. Nobody ever cares if bad things happen to us anymore.
All right. I think we've heard enough from the Negro Caucus. And what you've heard is a fairly accurate sampling of what you would hear if you were to listen to any majority black panel having this conversation. There are very few right-leaning panels of black people to begin with. You know, I have one of the main ones, but when you listen to the average black conversation around what happened with Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, it's gonna sound largely like what we all just listened to. It's gonna sound like General Nutsacks with the $2 super chat. He gave him the sweet butter knife doom tragic.
Nigga, please. Serious.
Okay, now the other day when I spoke on this issue, I kind of suspected the black kid probably is going to have a hard time legally with this. I don't think he was really in the right here. I don't think self-defense applied. From what I heard yesterday, it just didn't really sound like a self-defense-y kind of thing. And that was before the official police report came out, right? Now we have official police reports. Yesterday, there was an unofficial police report. There was a Negro official police report that had been released. A completely fabricated Negro document. This is it on the screen right here. It's better if I just read it this way. I don't even want to read all of it to you because it would kind of muddy the water. But a lot of the black alternative reality narrative building that they're doing on these panels, it's coming from false information like the fake police report you have on the screen, saying things like mutual combat. Mutual combat is the key. A brawl, it says mutual combat brawl. After the white team punched the suspect, like the black people who are crafting a new reality, an alternative reality for the purpose of defending young Carmelo, they are doing it based on what is essentially rumors and innuendo, lies, and Negro babble. This is the official police report. This is what a police report looks like, just in case you thought that actually looked official. That last page, obviously that last page we looked at was something somebody typed up on Instagram. Don't be stealing my words, dirty folks. I want a penny every time. You know, we monetizing everything now. So we're going to go through the police report. Not every single word of it, because a lot of the police report is You know, I arrived at the scene at such and such time. I encountered such and such victim. A lot of it's like what they call boilerplate, right? But there are some very, very interesting parts of this police report that need to be talked about. And one of the things that made me do this stream today, I actually had other things I would have done, and I gotta now rearrange my day because I'm doing this now. But I realized I was actually on that panel with Roger and his guest, and I was one of the rare contrarian voices there. And frankly, I don't think anybody kind of takes the logic to the conclusions that I take them to. They don't go all the way to the end like I do. But I'm on the panel earlier, that exact panel that we were listening to earlier, and I gave Roger the link to the official police report. Now, he said there was nothing in that page because apparently he didn't scroll down and didn't realize that there were pages of police report. Like, what police report about something this crazy is only one short page? Like, you get one page police report when you were like pissing in public or something like that. This police report has multiple witness statements, and that is what we're going to focus on right now. Multiple witness statements and the official police report. Please hit that like button. If you guys are watching on the main Hoodservative channel, I have been posting the link to the alternative channel. We have the backup channel going. I pretty much disabled the majority of comments in the main Hoodservative channel. So if you want to participate in the conversation, you need to actually click the link. Everybody's over there waiting for you. It's like 11 of you guys in this one room. Nobody can talk to each other. Nobody can wave to each other. It's real cold and lonely in that other channel. Hit the link, jump over to the new channel. That's where all the people are. That's where the party is. We're going to get into the police report now. And American man, you're absolutely right. I knew they weren't going to accept the truth. I didn't come up there to fight them to the death for the truth. I just really wanted to kill some time and chop it up over the issue. I knew that I was in enemy territory, so to speak. So I wasn't trying to win any real battles, but it got to the point where I realized, you know what? This would just be a lot easier if I did it myself. Like, I'm not going to fight 12 angry niggas. The hell I look like? So, let's read this damn police report. Initial narrative. On 4/2/25 at 10:01 hours, that is 10 o'clock in the morning. That is actually crucial. 10 o'clock in the morning. This is not an after school event. This is an event that takes place during school hours. All right. I think that's critical. Staley School Resource Officer E. Cortez heard over the radio dispatch call out a stabbing call at David Kuykendall Stadium. FPD call notes indicated that an athlete was stabbed. The suspect was reported as being a black male wearing a gray hoodie, blue sweatpants. I immediately left my office, ran across the Staley Middle School parking lot towards the southwest entrance into the stadium. As I entered the stadium, 2 high school age students informed me that the victim was on the north end of stadium by the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent. I did not identify the students. Next, I proceeded toward the north end of the stadium on foot. As I got closer to the end, I could see the Memorial High School's tent with multiple individuals under the tent. Once I arrived onto the north side bleachers, an adult male who was on the track pointed out the suspect. I was not able to identify that witness. The individual that was pointed out to me was a black male wearing a gray hooded sweater and dark colored Nike pants. The suspect at this point was on the track on the north end. There was a chain link fence that separated me from the suspect. I gave the suspect instructions to keep his hands up in the air during this time. Suspect said verbally out loud, "I was protecting myself." All right, that's a quote from the suspect. "I was protecting myself." Now, I'm going to continue. It should be noted that I had not questioned him about the incident when he made that comment. I asked him if he had any weapons, and he said no. I patted him down for weapons while he was walking along the fence, and I did not locate any on his person. I instructed the male to continue walking along the fence, which he complied, toward an area where there was an opening on the fence that led off the track. You know what? I'm going to have to pull this up on my cell phone because reading it off the screen is a little bit tricky. So we're going to, I don't know. There's no way for me to zoom in on this thing. I wish there was a zoom element. I don't know how to zoom. Did we? No. Yeah, this is not helping. Give me 1 second. We're going to continue reading. Okay. I conducted another pat down of his person and then searched his person after he gave me consent. No weapons were located. While the suspect sat on the ground, I advised that I had the alleged suspect. The suspect then responds and says, "I'm not alleged. I did it." Next, Officer Ritchie and I walked the suspect to patrol vehicle, blah, 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 which was on the northeast gate of the stadium. As we were walking to the squad car, the suspect was emotional and said he put his hands on me. I told him not to. All right, that is the suspect. Again, he put his hands on me. I told him not to. That is a quote from the suspect. Continue. I did not question the suspect about the incident while he was escorted to the patrol vehicle. I searched this person once again, and I had him sit in the back seat area, driver's side of the patrol car. While the suspect was in the back seat, I noticed fresh blood on his left middle finger. I verbally acknowledged that I saw blood out loud, that it would be captured on my body on camera. It should also be noted that the suspect asked me, quote, "Is he going to be okay?" while he was in the back seat. Asked if he was going to be okay. Continued. I then identified the suspect. He provided his name, date of birth, verbally as Carmelo Anthony, black male with a date of birth of blank, which I ran through the FPD dispatch. Officer Jay Hancock arrived on the scene and remained with me and the suspect at this point. Carmelo was then checked via eSchool database to also confirm his identity. The identifying information he provided matched the individual I had in custody. Next, I was advised by my Sergeant Holland to transport the suspect to Frisco PD jail. Now, we're going to skip that. That's all the intake stuff there. We have a couple of witness testimonies that I want to get to. Oh, what just happened? Okay, so now we are reading here at the bottom where it says Officer Richie Allison. Actually, you know what? We're going to skip the Allison part because that's really just more contact with Carmelo. We're going to go to the next page. Okay, this is from Officer Will Otis. Okay, Officer Otis now. Let me take a pause for a quick moment here. Yeah, it's gonna get a little bit awkward after this part because the narrative of self-defense, I believe, is gonna get challenged by the witness statements we're about to read here. Excuse me, I want to take a pause for a moment because throat's dry. I need to take a sip. But so far what we have is the boy being taken into custody. Immediately upon encountering the police, he admits to something. He admits that he stabbed the kid. He said he did it. He said it's not alleged. He did it. Whatever the police were looking for, he said he did it. He also wonders if he can claim self-defense. So the kid is being taken away into custody. And now the police are going to go around and receive witness statements. And this is the critical part, because these are the only people who could maybe possibly tell you anything about what actually happened, because these are the people who were right there. They were the closest to everything. They were technically a part of it, because they were the people who would have been standing right under the tent. There was a group of teenage kids. The Metcalf twins were a part of this group. It's unconfirmed how many other kids were a part of this group, but I'm assuming at this point that any witness statements would be given most likely by those kids. On the news, the only real witness statement that was put forward was by the other Metcalf brother, the living twin, who was basically just a couple of feet away from the incident. He said it happened so fast, he really couldn't do anything. And here's another narrative that I think we're going to challenge in a minute. All day, since yesterday, because I was on Fantastic's channel yesterday, and Fantastic, he took that video and put it behind the paywall, so we won't be listening to that little bit of conversation. But I was on Mr. Fantastic's channel yesterday, and to his credit, Mr. Fantastic is kind of taking a position I'm taking, like this was not a good move. The little boy did not really behave well in this situation, and so he's not really jumping out there to wage the race war for this little kid, which was basically like the title of his video. And I was on that panel, and most of the people on that panel were kind of like race warring. And Fantastic was, he was doing the job trying to speak logic to the angry Negroes that wanted to come on the panel, because this is one of those things where people get all emotional. Well, the blacks get emotional about it because the blacks be sensitive about racial issues and whatnot. They have a history.
These blacks.
But I was on that panel for a little while too. And I was noticing, ever since I did my own show on this the other day, I'm just noticing how many people are just running away with this story. It's one thing when there's an actual racial grievance, like something really horrible actually happened to a kid for no reason, and it was because he's black. But we don't have a real racial grievance. It wasn't because the kid was black that we know for a fact this happened. We can't even speculate that this happened because the other kid was white. We don't know that. All we know is one kid stabbed another, and that's bad enough. What led up to the kid getting stabbed? That is really what's at the heart of all debate. Was it self-defense? Was he being attacked? Was he in fear of his life? You know how like the police love to say that? The police are the reason why black people love that phrase now. I was in fear of my life. That's what people want to be true. We don't know that it's true until we, gather facts and evidence and whatnot. But that's what people want to be true. And so I think we're going to continue reading the police report from Officer Will Oates. I'm gonna skip down a little bit. I'm gonna skip down toward the good part. Sergeant Otis walked up to the visitor bleachers and observed the victim being treated by Frisco Fire Department personnel and also the athletic trainers. The weather began to turn and it began to heavily downpour rain. At this time, some of the FISD staff moved to the memorial tent to cover the victim and the FFD personnel. Sergeant Otis began using his city-issued phone to snap crime scene photos to preserve as much of the scene as possible due to the weather and the large gathering of people that were involved in the immediate area. Actually, you know what? This is all procedure stuff, boilerplate. All right, so the top of this page is procedure stuff, right? The whole top of this page up here is procedure. We're going to go down below the line. Officer Taylor Wetzel. When I arrived on the scene, I grabbed a roll of crime scene tape from my trunk and proceeded to the visitors' bleachers where dispatch advised the victim was. While I was walking toward the visitors' bleachers, I was approached by a witness who identified himself as blank. His name has been redacted. Blank began telling me what happened, and I asked him where the stabbing occurred. Blank advised it happened under the Memorial High School pop-up tent in the visitors' bleachers. I immediately informed Sergeant Otis where the witness stated the stabbing occurred and gave him the crime scene tape to start securing the crime scene. I then had Blank move to the walkway under the visitors' bleachers out of the rain to further speak with me. The following is a summary of my contact with Blank. Blank advised he was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-up tent with his team and was near the victim, Austin, and the suspect, who was later identified as Carmelo Anthony. Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, "Touch me and see what happens." All right, let's repeat that part. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, quote, "Touch me and see what happens," end quote. No one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony. And then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what Blank recalled as a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. Austin began grabbing his chest and telling everyone to get help. Advised he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another Memorial track member, Blank, was friends with Anthony and he could identify Anthony. Blank described Anthony as a black male, skinny, with possibly a goatee, short puffy hair, and wearing Centennial High School clothing. This concluded my contact with Blank. I was then instructed to start a crime scene log. Okay. Now we're going to find out the next witness contact here. Officer Fisher Alvin, right here. Officer Fisher Alvin, the third paragraph on this page now. When I arrived, the crime scene was already marked and the suspect was in custody. I began asking people if there were witnesses to anything. I made contact with Hunter Blank, and then Blank blank, a black male. They were both breathing heavily and crying due to the nature of events. They were with coaches in the field. They were with coaches on the field, and it was pouring down rain. We made the decision to relocate to a locker room just to the east to get out of the rain. Once in there, things calmed down a bit. However, they were still hysterical and could not really talk. And there, I learned Hunter was the brother of the victim. I attempted to ask them both what happened. I could not really get anything out of Hunter, but blank stated he wants to speak. So we're assuming this is the other black kid, not Hunter, the brother of the deceased. Okay, so there was a black kid with Hunter who gave his statement with the police, right? I asked him what happened, and he stated they were all sitting on the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent when another male who he did not know walked over and sat under the tent. Blank then said Austin, the victim, told this male that since he did not go to Memorial High School, he had to leave the tent. Austin and the male went back and forth, and then Austin stood up and pushed the male to get him out of the tent. Blank had said during this time of arguing, the male was reaching around in his bag he had. It was that time the male took out a knife and stabbed Austin and then left the scene. This was all Blank remembered when he talked to me. Let's see if there's any more witness statements here. No, I don't see any more witness statements on the rest of this paperwork here. This is all procedure, evidence collecting. Apparently, there was a witness that spotted Carmelo throwing the knife away, and they recovered the knife somewhere in the area. But that is all that we appear to have from the police report. Wait, is there a little bit more? Oh, wait. I think I have more. Officer Higgins Andrew. He said, let me read this for you because I'm not sure what this is about. At approximately 10:42 hours, Blank walked into the main lobby stating that he had witnessed this stabbing and was told to come to the lobby to complete a witness statement. I gave Blank a voluntary witness statement, which he worked on until detectives arrived and speak with him. Apparently, there was cell phone footage of the incident. The phones were recovered by the officers, so there is video evidence that will likely come out during trial. This was also witnessed by a couple of coaches for the school of the deceased here. All right, but that appears to be all of the statements here. No further witness statements here. But it looks like we have from at least 2 witnesses so far that he was asked to leave. He responded by grabbing his knife and making a threatening comment. And then when he was pushed, he responded by stabbing the boy in the chest. That's really what we can get from the witness, from the police report so far. Nellie Mack asked, wasn't he suspended before for bringing a knife? That is a rumor. That is the rumor. I don't have any confirmation on that. I know where the rumor comes from. This is a reporter for CBS News in Texas. She says, CBS News Texas has learned from a law enforcement source involved in the investigation that 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, the suspect in the murder of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, had previously been suspended for bringing a knife to school. Law enforcement sources tell us that 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony should have been in class at Centennial High School and was skipping school yesterday when... Hold up. You skipping school yesterday when he allegedly stabbed Austin Metcalf following an altercation. So, you can come to your own conclusions. I don't really want to argue all that much unless you want to argue the facts that have been presented. Now, this is what I'll do for you guys. I actually have the link to the police report. If you want to read the police report yourselves, you can read the police report. Now, the question at hand is, was he justified in his response? Actually, now that we've read the police report, now that I read the police report to you guys, this is what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to take a look back at the blacks because they're still going.
What you think? What time you think we're living in?
I'm actually watching the series. This is in the 1960s, and yeah, that's how they're talking. It's the Godfather of Harlem. And
now, you guys tell me if any of their conversation sounds like any of the official police report that I read to you. He was not jumped. We don't even believe he was punched, as far as we heard. He invited a punch while he was holding or digging around for a knife in his backpack. And the fact that you're asked to leave and the first thing you reply with is to look for a knife in your bag and then dare him to hit you, that is an aggressive, threatening move. That is premeditation. That is why he's being charged with murder.
for somebody else's benefit. And there are people who still feel like, well, that's what y'all should be doing today. You don't get the benefit from your labor, your intellect. You got to benefit other people in that. And, you know, black people have something to say about that.
All right. I don't know what I missed because I just got back. But Truth Teller just came back up. So I'm going to let Truth Teller say what he want to say, y'all. And then we're going to get ready to close this out. It has been 1 hour, 41 minutes past the overtime mark of 3 hours. So that's when it becomes overtime once it's past 3 hours. So I'm going to let you say what you want to say because you just came back up, Truth Teller, but we're going to close out.
It's all right. You go ahead and close out because everything I have to say at this point, it needs to stay backstage. So yeah, you go ahead, close it out.
You got to control these dudes. All right, y'all. Look, if you're new to the channel, if you like this type of content, like the video and subscribe to the channel. We do this Monday through Fridays for sure, 9 a.m. Chicago time, not where you happen to live. Okay, not where you happen to live, but Chicago time, 9 a.m. I will see y'all next time around. Long live the habitual line steppers. Roger, I hate to interrupt you, but I just want to make sure you get your money right. You got a super chat that you didn't read. You want to read it?
Okay, appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Okay, that's a for sure thing right there. So let me read that last super chat from when I got knocked off. Okay, because y'all, all money on the wood is good over here at the Roger Report Live, y'all. All the money on the wood is good at the Roger Report Live. Shout out to Bruce Owen Wayne, aka Dusty King. He said, "My young ninjas, okay, my young ninjas are built different." Hashtag FAFO. Appreciate that, brother. And let me just check just to make sure ain't nothing else that I slipped past because I was having that little difficulty. Shout out to Floyd Thompson. I don't think I said this one on air. He said media making look like Denzel from Training Day. Okay, I think I know where you're going on that one. Okay, I think I got the rest of them in, y'all. I think I got the rest of them in. All right, so y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Thank you for joining me over here at the Roger Report Live. I will see y'all tomorrow. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.
I'm telling you, man, this the reason why I be hating niggas, man. I'm telling you, man. It just be us. I be hating niggas, man.
Now, here's another thing to think about. Black folk, a lot of what we listened to on that panel just now, it was a justification in the sense of, if you put your hands on me for any slight reason, then I have the right to use whatever physical force I deem necessary, and I'm totally justified, right? That was the general position that I just witnessed from that audience and from that panel. And it gets actually a lot worse. The attitudes and sentiments and whatnot, they definitely get worse. And I want to share something else with you guys. A look at what could have been. Because I don't know how you put yourself in a place that you weren't invited and you likely shouldn't be. And then when you find yourself out of bounds, and a person approaches you and tells you that you're out of bounds, you respond with deadly force, right? First, you threaten deadly force. They don't know that you're reaching for a knife, but if you're reaching for your knife, I think you become the aggressor after that. I don't think you can claim the victimhood when a person just asks you to leave their space. And as much as a lot of the Black audience wants to put this completely on the shoulders of the white man, I think you just got to own up to the fact that even if the kid touched him, which he according to all the reports, he pushed him to some degree to remove him from their tent. And what we just listened to was about 4 hours of justification that you can, in fact, stab another teenage boy in the chest if he touches you, if he pushes you out of a tent that you probably shouldn't have been in the first place, right? Because there's this question of, well, who are you? Are you the high school tent police? Why do you have the authority to tell us to leave here? There was an event that happened recently, and it's not exactly like the Austin Metcalf situation, but there are parallels, and I want to share something with you as an example of what could have been. Because, you know, the real tragedy, well, another tragedy of this all is that both of these kids were on the path to success and, you know, victory in life. You know, they were both good kids with no record, apparently. You know, even the Austin kid, he might have got suspended, but you know, that's not a big deal, really. But now 2 lives are just gone. And this is perhaps how it could have been. Instead of reaching in your backpack to look for your knife so you can immediately kill somebody, you can try another way.
Hey, you're a very personable guy. I can tell, like, just talking to you right now, but you're a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
And like, just like you're no matter what you do, even if God forbid this doesn't work out, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
that means a lot.
Alright, so like, let's say we are gonna watch one of your videos tonight. What would it be? Like, give me one.
What you say, bro?
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Right, maybe. Is that a little more to the right? See the TV at least?
Nah.
Yeah, this is our tailgate, so a little more to the right so I can see the fucking TV.
Oh shit! Hey, bro. You don't gotta talk to him like that, bro. He didn't.
I'm just saying, maybe.
Hey, can you just move, please?
No. Hey, bro. It's okay. Just move.
He doesn't mean like.
It's okay. Move, but
I don't mean to be a
no, but I know, but you have to talk to him like that. No. I'm saying this my guy though, bro. Like, no, bro. No, bro. You cursed at him and stuff, bro. All you had to say was, hey, bro, can you please move? This is respect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no. He don't mean it like that.
Is he drunk? Is he drunk?
I don't know, but maybe.
I just don't like disrespect, bro.
Now, there's a young black kid here out in a suburban white land. He's probably got a little bit of the wealthy suburban crowd right here. They just kind of look like the Brooks Brothers, Doc Shoes type of crowd. The guy, they wear shorts with button-up shirts. That's how you know they kind of from that Martha's Vineyard kind of crowd. You know what I mean? So they're hanging out, tailgating. It's probably like some college level event. And you know, as a young black kid, he may or may not go to the school. I have no idea why he's even in this scenario. He obviously, just from the dress, just from his outfit, he doesn't look like he's a part of this crowd, because there are a couple of black kids that would be a part of that crowd, and they may actually look like they fit in from their outfit. He looks very different. He looks like a YouTuber. He's confronted with a guy who's being a little bit of a dick. White guy's clearly in the wrong. This is not like World War III. There's nobody's being like really, really threatened or anything like that. Just being a little bit of a dick. Now, here's the reason why we bring this up, right? Because if you listen to the blacks earlier talk about this, and I played the video for you, they basically said Austin was being a little bit of a dick. Who are you to tell me to move out of here? You white man, you, right? That's basically how, you know, the blacks on the other channel I played for you, that's how they were giving it up. Like, you have no authority. You're being a dick, right? Fine. Maybe every now and then, as a black man, you might in fact encounter a white guy who is in fact being a dick. You don't stab him in the chest right away. 0 to 100, nigga, real quick. That's a fucking song. It's a rap song. Don't let the rappers send you to jail, bro.
Yeah, this is our tailgate, so we're going to the right so I can see the fucking TV.
Oh shit! Hey, bro. You don't gotta talk to him like that, bro. He didn't.
I'm just saying, maybe.
Hey, can you just move, please?
No. Hey, bro. It's okay. Just move.
He doesn't mean like.
It's okay. Move, but
I don't mean to be a
but I know, but you have to talk to him like that, bro. No. I'm saying this my guy though, bro. Like, no, bro. You cursed at him and stuff, bro. All you had to say was, hey, bro, can you please move? This is respect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no. He don't mean it like that.
Is he drunk?
I don't know, but maybe.
I just don't like disrespect, bro. He can talk to me like that. Don't talk to him like that. He's just doing his job.
Hey, we're good. Hey,
let's just respect each other, bro. For sure.
I'm not trying to be.
No, yeah.
You cussed at him, bro.
Bro, he's in the fucking way the TV is my tailgate. I can tell
you didn't have to cuss at him though, bro.
Now, right here, I will say this. You know, the whole you cussed at him thing is kind of weak. Like, you get over that, bro. Guys cuss, men cuss, niggas say bad words every now and then, right? He didn't call him a bad word. He said, like, you're in the effing way, basically, right? you're a little bit too offended. You know what I mean? I think you're just a bit too offended, especially when you were actually gonna concede and move out of the way so like his tailgate can watch the TV like everybody else came to do. And this is the thing I wanted to bring up, right? And this is something I don't know that a lot of black people accept this. Shout out to my man Lasers with the $5 super chat. Lasers go Pew. What is that? A sticker? Hold on, I think we just got a sticker or something. I don't even know what these things are. I haven't been getting this in so long. I don't even know what these things are. But shout out to Lasers with the $5 super chat. He just sent the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. I don't know that black people understand certain public social niceties, right? I spoke about this on another stream. Like, they're little petty things, petty in the sense that they're small and they're, you know, minuscule seeming even, but they go a long way toward greasing the public interactions, because public interactions are where, you know, anything could happen between people, and you don't necessarily want to get caught up in a nigga moment with every public interaction, right? And what just happened here was, and because really it wasn't like, you know, the white guy walking up to a bunch of black people, it was a white guy walking up to another group of white guys, and he's telling them, listen, you guys are like kind of in our way here. Like, you set up right in our way. You know, I'm not trying to be an ass, so I'm not trying to be a dick, as he said, but you guys kind of set up in our way, right? Look.
If this doesn't work out, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
All right, so like, let's say we are gonna watch one of your videos tonight. What would it be? Like, give me one.
What you say, bro?
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Right, maybe.
Is that a little more to the right? See the TV at least?
Nah.
Yeah, this is our tailgate, so we'll go to the right so I can see the fucking TV.
Oh shit! Hey bro, you don't gotta talk to him like that, bro. He didn't.
I'm just saying, maybe. Hey, could you just
move, bro? Please. No, hey, bro, it's okay. Just move.
He doesn't mean like.
It's okay, move, but.
I don't mean to be a.
No, but I know, but you have to talk to him like that. No. I'm saying this is my guy though, bro. Like, no, bro. You cursed at him and stuff, bro. All you had to say was, hey, bro, can you please move?
The invisible glue of white society. And I don't know that black people really internalize this concept. A lot of white people, I see how they operate, and this is just the thing that happens a lot of times. They acquiesce to petty requests as opposing to instigate a useless conflict. And so even though the guy he came over kind of being a dick, they were still willing to acquiesce to his petty request, because it's not worth having a conflict with this guy for no reason. This is a very typical thing you see, and especially these are kind of like they're not poor trailer park white people either, but this is kind of how it works. It's the invisible glue that keeps everything moving smoothly. Yeah, he was kind of being a dick, but we'll get out of your way so that we can all enjoy the day together without me giving in to the petty conflict that is in front of us, right?
This is respect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no. He don't mean it like that.
Is he drunk? Is he drunk?
I don't know, but maybe.
I just don't like disrespect, bro. He can talk to me like that. Don't talk to him like that. He's just doing his job.
Hey, we're good. Hey,
let's just respect each other, bro.
For sure. I'm not trying to be. No, yeah.
You cussed at him, bro.
Bro, he's in the fucking way the TV is my tailgate. I can
see you didn't have to cuss at him, though, bro. He's not a child, bro.
What's the problem? Hey, back up. What's the problem?
No, he just cussed him out, bro. And I was like,
he said y'all get up. He asked you to get up. Hey, what's the problem?
And so now these are adults here. These are actual middle-aged men here. You see the guy in the salmon shirt right here. Why do I know that's a salmon-colored shirt? I don't know. But salmon guy jumped up like a superhero. All right. Now, if we were on the other panel, if we were on the other channel, this is where they would have been like, white supremacy jumped in to save the day. All right. That was white supremacy jumping in right there. They seen a black dude puff his chest up and defend himself, and then bam, white supremacy.
This makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle.
What's the problem? No, he just cussed on my boy, and I was like,
He said y'all get up. He asked you to get up. Hey, what's the problem?
Is he drunk? Because if he's drunk, then it's okay. I'm
What's
not.
the problem?
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
No, nobody was arguing with him or nothing. He just cursed at him like he was a child. And I was like, hey, bro, you don't
Okay, it's
disrespect
over, buddy.
everybody, you know?
Thank
No,
you.
I'm just explaining to you what happened.
Okay.
For
I
sure.
appreciate it.
For
Good.
sure.
Have a good day.
For sure.
And now look, white supremacy in the salmon shirt. He really didn't want to hear it out anyway. He's really trying to get through the moment. He's not trying to have conflict either. What they just do, they actually shook hands, pat on the back, handshake. All right, fine, whatever. You know what? Yeah, he was probably wrong. Fine, whatever. Let's just move on. It's not that big deal.
We're good.
No, nobody was arguing with him or nothing. He just cursed at him like he was a child. And I was like, hey, bro, you don't
Okay, it's
disrespect
over, buddy.
everybody, you know?
Thank
No,
you.
I'm just explaining to you what happened.
Okay. I
For sure.
appreciate it.
For
Good.
sure.
Have a good day.
For sure.
Now, listen, we don't have to be friends. We don't have to be kumbaya, campfire buddies. You don't have to share my sleeping bag. But it'd be nice if we can observe little niceties with one another while we have to share public space. You know what I mean? It helps from things getting to an unnecessary level. And American men, no, I don't think the black guy wants to keep going. I think he was the only one speaking for his team. What I think is happening here, he is like the live streamer or whatever, and he has a cameraman. And so in this little context where you're out in public, you're speaking up for your crew. And on that level, I get him, but I don't feel as though he crossed the line. As far as I'm concerned, and the reason why I'm even playing this video as a contrast, I feel as though he acquitted himself well. He didn't do anything that you can really criticize in this moment, and he actually stood up for himself and his crew. That being said, you actually have to observe, Midwest request, respect the formalities. Now imagine, let's run this moment back. Let's run this footage back.
Hey, you're a very personable guy. I can tell, like, talking to you right now, but you're a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
And like, just like you're no matter what you do, even if God forbid.
Now everybody right now is telling us that Carmelo was a good kid, and I'm willing to believe that. I don't have a whole lot of nigga shit to pour on Carmelo's rep right now.
Hey, you're a very personable guy. I can tell, like, talking to you right now, but you're a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
And like, just like you're no matter what you do, even if God forbid this doesn't work out, you're gonna be fine. You're being a good dude.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Alright, so like, let's say we are gonna watch one of your videos tonight. What would it be? Like, give me one.
What you say, bro?
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
Right, maybe. A little more to the right. See the TV at least.
Yeah, this is our tailgate, so
A little more to the right so I can see the fucking TV.
Oh shit! Hey, bro, you don't gotta talk to him like that, bro. He didn't.
I'm just saying, maybe.
Hey, can you just?
Now, mind you, this is an adult, and these look like young college kids. I don't even think this is a high school. These look like college kids. But that's like an older adult. He's probably like alumni or something. Like
No, hey, bro, it's okay. Just move.
He doesn't mean like.
It's okay, move, but
I don't mean to be a
but I know, but you have to talk to him like that. No, I'm saying this is my guy though, bro. Like, no, bro. You cursed at him and stuff, bro. All you had to say was, hey, bro, can you please move? It's just respect, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no. He don't mean it like that.
Is he drunk? Is he drunk?
I don't know, but maybe.
I just don't like disrespect, bro. He can talk to me like that. Don't talk to him like that. He's just doing his job.
Hey, we're good. No, hey.
Let's just respect each other, bro. For sure.
I'm not trying to be.
No, yeah.
You cussed at him, bro.
Bro, he's fucking way the TV is my tailgate. I can tell
You didn't have to cuss at him though, bro. He's not a child, bro.
What's the problem?
No, he just,
Hey, back up. What's the problem?
no, he just cussed at my bro, and I was like,
now, I'm pretty sure the white guy just told the kid to shut the F up.
no, he just
Hey, back up.
cussed at him though, bro. He's not a child, bro.
What's the problem?
No, he just,
And this is why I'm actually trying to give the black kid here more of the credit in the scenario, because you did not push it further.
No, yeah, you cussed at him, bro.
Bro, he's in the fucking way the TV is my tailgate. I can
But you didn't have to cuss at him though, bro. He's not a child, bro.
What's the problem?
No, he just,
Hey, back up. What's the problem?
no, he just cussed him out, bro. And I was like,
He said, y'all.
And when you heard someone say back up, they were backing the white guy up. Other white guys came to get in the middle. They backed the white guy up. And now salmon shirt guy, he's talking to the young kid here. And again, the kid is not pushing the issue forward. He was just like, bro, that was kind of crazy.
Y'all get up. Yes, you get up. Hey, what's the problem?
is he drunk? Because if he's drunk, then it's okay. I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
No, nobody was arguing with him or nothing. He just cursed at him like he was a child. And I was like, hey, bro, you don't
Okay, it's
disrespect
over, buddy.
everybody, you know?
Thank
No,
you.
I'm just explaining to you what happened.
Okay.
For
I
sure.
appreciate it.
For
Good.
sure.
Have a good day.
For sure.
And Trey, I think you might be onto something here. Shout out to Trey to MBD with the $5 super chat. That it's over, buddy. It means go away, N-word, in white code. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. That's exactly what it means. It means go away, but in white code. Sometimes they want to say it, but they don't want to really say it. You know what I mean?
Say it, motherfucker. No. I just want you to know I'm thinking it.
And so what I wanted to show here was, like I said, is a look at what could have been, you know, because nobody has to die behind these little petty incidents, man. Nobody has to automatically go digging in their backpack for their knife. These are not your ops, bro. You're all the way in the heart of suburbia. These are not your ops, bro. These are just dudes. These are just guys. They're not even like a bunch of tough guys. High school kids and college kids and whatnot. And yeah, listen, he was being a little bit, you know, sensitive about the whole using profanity thing and all that. Like, you know, you got a little bit church lady-ish on there. I totally get that. But the point I wanted to make, though, is even in his taking a little bit too much offense, he didn't actually push the issue beyond any respectable bounds. Everybody could walk away. No one loses face, as the Japanese like to say. Everybody walks away with their dignity. Nobody has to get poked in the heart with a long black knife. Yeah, he had breaks. He understood. I'm only going to push this so far. Even though you were wrong, you're cursing at me like I ruined your day. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to be the nigger that you accuse me of being, because then this is the thing, and this is what the black crowd that we just listened to, they don't listen to the kind of content I listen to. They don't realize that what's happening now is only adding more fuel to the fire of these niggas are too violent to even be around. Why even tolerate having these niggas around if you're going to be so violent, right? Like, damn all the charity. We're rethinking liberal charity right now, which means we're rethinking you niggas totally. Like, why even have niggas around if you're going to just be violent like that, right? And the problem with the black defense of this whole issue is that you don't realize people are watching. People are taking note. It's not like back in the day where you could really keep this shit secret. You know, you can have your little meetings in the church where none of the white folk could listen, and you could speak in your little mysterious Negro babble slang code language, and none of the white folk would be any of the wiser. But now everybody knows what you niggas are like, and this is not helping, man. This is not helping. You can't celebrate when a black kid kills a white kid for no good reason. You can't act like this is a victory from the civil rights era, bro. You cannot keep score like that and then be tap dancing and moonwalking, because the patience is running thin, bro. I promise you, the patience is running thin. I do a patience check every so often, and the patience is running out, man. People are getting tired of niggas, man.
Give a nigga a break.
Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.
Hey, shout out to American Man with the $2 super chat. He says, I can't go with you on this one. He kept crying. I acknowledge that. I totally acknowledge. He kept crying. He was a little bit hypersensitive. But the point I wanted to use as contrast here is he did have a limiting principle. He had an internal governing mechanism that stopped him from going full Carmelo Anthony. Niggas need that internal governing mechanism. You better develop one before Elon Musk develop a chip for niggas. Don't think you're going to get the same brain chip that the white man get. They're working on a chip for niggas, bro. I promise. There is a black chip coming out. And every time you sign up for the Elon Musk Neuralink, they're going to take note of you're black or white, and they're going to give you the black chip. And there's nothing you niggas can do about it.
This makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle.
Yeah, shout out to America, man. Thank y'all for supporting the show. I really don't have that much more to add to this conversation. I just really wanted to take a minute out to, give some extra words on this conversation, and also to actually read some of the official police report, because I know that the black side of YouTube is going to be chewing this over for another couple of days. And I don't know how many of the black YouTubers are going to actually read the police report live to their audience and discuss the police report, because I was just on that panel that you guys were listening to. I was a part of that show. I gave him the link to the police report. He told me he looked over it, the first page, but he didn't really want to make it a part of the show because the police report's a bit damning. It actually contradicts a lot of the popular Negro narrative around these events. And that's a bit unfortunate, because what that means is you have more and more reason to not trust the common Negro narrative, because niggas don't really go on a hunt for facts. They don't really have an honest, open, good faith debate pursuing logical conclusions. There's very little of that, and it's a very emotional, propagandistic extension of a civil rights battle. Everything is an extension of a civil rights battle. I'm getting a panel request. Is that what we're doing now? Are you guys giving me a panel request? I gotta think it over. I need some panel thinking music.
Hey, yo, Quantic, run them bands up.
The link is in the chat. If you're coming, you better get on in here now. Shout out to all the dispensary employees out there listening. You're gonna make me roll up another one. The link is in the chat. We're gonna open this panel conversation in just a minute. Shout out to the Midwest for $1 Rumble Chat. The hood, how the F do you do a checklist? It's because we're civilized, bro. That's how. I don't know that a lot of the other blacks have really civilized. You know. There are nice things to observe. You gotta practice patience. Learn to be kind. Observe the social order. Honestly, living in civilization isn't as hard as people make it seem. Dudes be struggling. There are a lot of people who struggle with the ins and outs of living in a It's hard. You know, there are a lot of little invisible rules. But it's tough. It's tough. Not everybody's cut out for civilization. Some people, I guess, you know, gotta leave them on that little island.
Hey, yo, Quantic, run them bands up.
All right, looks like we about to have us a little panel. You guys got me hanging out longer than I wanted to. I might just take this show on the road. American Man, what is good, bro?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. What are your thoughts so far, man? I read the police report and I played for you the alternative Negro universe, and I don't think the two universes really match. But what do you think?
Well, my problem with the alternative Negro was he carried that on way too long, right? I'm sorry, but as soon as the guy said,
you're talking about the last video. Okay, start there.
Yeah, he carried that on way too long, right? Because initially the guy said, "Yo, you know, can you just move to the right, like you're in front of the thing?" And then he was like, "Yo, come on, move to the fucking right." And then, "Oh my, you can't. And why you got to keep cursing? And you cursed at me, and you could talk to him that way, but you don't want to talk to me because see, we just got to be respectful." Like, come on, bro. Like, you made it more than it needed to be. You're standing in front of TV. Oh, my bad. And keep going, right? Like, done.
I agree. You took a little bit too much offense to something that wasn't really necessarily meant to be personally offensive.
Yeah, like and drew it out from a 30-second interaction to a 3-minute interaction where the white guy had to say, "All right, nigga, keep it moving."
Well, to be fair,
kept going.
No, to be fair, and to buttress your point, we watched the edited version. We don't know the real time limit, how long he really did keep pushing it on, right? So there was a little bit of truth to what you're saying, and that's why I didn't really want to contradict that point of it. Like, he was being a little too sensitive. The only thing I wanted to point out is that he didn't go 0-2 Carmelo Anthony on him, you know?
Well, yeah. I of course. I mean, if we're comparing the two, then
we're grading on a curve, because you know, black niggas, man, we got grade on the curve.
Right, but like ultimately that was a nothing burger that like that like as usual, right? And I'm listen, man, I got a little smoke for Negroes as usual. He took it out of proportion. Now, as far as Carmelo, from listening to the two reports, damn, look at the time. I got to be careful. I got to take my daughter to gymnastics. Listening to the two reports, it sounds like the dude Austin, was probably a jock, think, he could push people around a little bit. But when I listened to the Anthony thing, you didn't even belong there, bro. Like it almost seems premeditated. Like why are you just there with a knife in your bag telling people to touch you? That's a weird place if you didn't premeditate that.
So let's talk about that for a minute. You're in a place where you likely shouldn't be, around people who tell you we don't want you around us. Like, why are you here around us? This is our place for us. Why are you here next to us? And when they tell you that, and they didn't like immediately threaten you or anything like that, but they don't want you near them. And the first thing you do is to grab for your knife and to dare them to touch you. That is an aggressive move, and it's a threat, because once you're grabbing for, it's one thing when you say that shit. It's another thing to grab for your knife. Whether or not they know you're grabbing for your knife, you're in the bag looking around for your knife. That signals intent and premeditation.
Yeah, like, and again, right? Like, if you're skipping school that day, right? If that's true, and you're there sitting underneath their tent, touch me. You seem like you had a plan for that. I'm just saying. Seems like you were like, yeah, I want this to go this way so that I can stab someone.
And thank you, Acadia, with the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate y'all supporting the show. Trey, there was something you wanted to talk about. Trey, now all of a sudden you stepped away, and as soon as I go to him, he's all muted up. I think this need not be a race war, but for a lot of different reasons we maybe can talk about later. But Black folk appear to be itching for racial conflict, and this shit is just petty and it's tiresome, because when you realize most white folk aren't really on it like that, and then if you actually get white folk on it like that, you're not gonna like what you get, bro. It's not gonna be a good thing for really anybody involved. But you can't tell niggas that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm generally starting to think that black people may actually want slavery and like actual racism. Right?
Yeah, we can hear you now. No, you're not finished, American man. They want slavery, right?
Yeah, they have to, because like every chance they get, they're like begging for it almost. Every chance they get. Like, yeah, I wanna push the white man, right? I think, and that's how you know that there is no real racism, that they're literally pushing for it at every turn, just so they can say, see, there is racism. But what they don't understand is once you open that box, just to say, see, it doesn't end there.
And then, what's the worst part of it? And this is what I mean about, going to a most logical conclusion. If this is your attitude post civil rights, then you justify the white man's attitude pre-civil rights.
Yep.
Well, can y'all fellas hear me now?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, my apologies for the technical issues. Something just came out in Ghana in regards to this that lines up perfectly with what you were just saying, American man. There's a certain group of Ghanaians that are quite upset at, with all the swarthy Americans coming over there, all the FBA folks that, are coming to the motherland. And this group is saying, like, look, we get the whole skin color thing and all, but look what y'all did in Liberia. When y'all came over here from Liberia, you started enslaving people. You brought white supremacy to the continent. And my hypothesis is that it's always been this, is that it was niggas all along. all the redlining, Jim Crow, segregation was all in response to this type of behavior for centuries. From the first moment that, you know, Black Europeans got here, to whoever, the Spanish got here, to the $5 Indians, to the, you know, the Caucasians as we know now, however they got here, they all had to deal with, you know, ninja behavior. And unfortunately for folks like us, we just got wrapped up in it. Just like the video you played, Hood, of the Black people in California in the 1950s who were all worried about, man, what are the white people going to think about us when these other, you know, Black folks from Mississippi get here? Are they going to lump us all in with them? And what's happening right now is it's playing itself over again. And I'm not like, to any of my white friends, anybody in the chat, if you see me and you're like, oh snap, I need to walk the other way, I completely get it. I would too. I see a big, huge, you know, Black dude coming down the street, me, Hood, American man, we walking down the street. Man, those are 3 big Black dudes. I think I'm just going to walk the other way. They don't know that I dress like those white guys in that vid. They don't know Hood, you know, is a great father. American man takes his daughter to gymnastics. They don't know that. So would you take the chance if you was just your average old white guy?
Well, no. And not only that, I'll do you one better. And this is why I make my peace with the concept of racism, right? Because it's like, you realize you guys don't make the most inviting, welcoming kind of presence. You know what I mean? You don't have a reputation of being the friendliest, most inviting neighbors. You know, if you had to choose between neighbors like Black, white, and Asian, Black always comes at the bottom of the list.
Bro, it's wild, man. Even here, like in San Antonio, like I have 0 problems over in the barrio. I had cats tell me when I was Ubering, hey man, you know, it's a dangerous area over here, but you good though. They only mess with, you know, folks that look like us. You straight over here. You ain't got to worry about it. You good, man. Over here, you ain't got to. But us, yeah, we got to be careful over here. And it's this xenophobic reaction. But, you know, I've asked some other young, I've asked some other young Hispanic kids, but they'll be like, nah, we ain't going to the east side because, you know, we don't care. Well, this is what they said, because I asked them the reciprocal. Well, what about y'all over on the east side of San Antonio, over where the Spurs play? You know, Black neighborhood. No, we can't go over there. They just fuck with us because we're brown. But y'all don't fuck with them when they come over here? No, we just fuck with each other. It's when you look at it and I look back at my 50 years, I'm like, shit. It's always like, really, Black folks, minus like the whole Bensonhurst incident. And like, you know, and like, I remember, you probably remember that one in Brooklyn. Like, when have you ever heard of brothers having any issue going into white neighborhoods? And that's one incident in 50 years, bro, that I can remember.
It wasn't even 50. There was one more recent. And you know, it's funny. All those years ago, this was even before anything YouTube, before I had like any political opinions or whatever. I felt bad for the white kid. And I'm going to tell you why. And we're talking about Bensonhurst. This was like in the, I want to say,
what was 80s, wasn't it? It's late 80s, right?
Like 2009, maybe 2007, somewhere around that time. Actually, my oldest daughter was born about 2007. She was born in 07. And so I think this is how it went. This neighborhood, Bensonhurst. Now, mind you, it's like, you know, years after what you're talking about, Trey, right? It was 2000s. And this neighborhood over in Bensonhurst, they had been having like some car break-ins or some auto damage or whatever, right? You know how Bensonhurst is. You know how the fucking Italians are. They will form up on you. And so there's these Black kids, and they like over in the neighborhood. And as it goes, they were fucking with people's stuff, and the white kids were like, hey, there's the niggas that been busting up everybody's cars, right? So you know what happens next, right? All Italian white kids, they form up, and the one kid's got a bat, and he swung and hit the black kid. Like, you know, words get exchanged, threats get made. And the one main Italian kid, I guess he's the ringleader, you know, he's Big Guido. And he's got a bat and he swings and he hits another kid with the bat. I think he might have hit him in the head, kind of cooked him a little bit, right? So he hits the kid in the head with the bat. He was like, and this is literally why I felt bad for him right here. This is exactly why I felt bad for him. Because he hit the kid in the head with the bat. And that right when he was going to hit him, he was like, "What's up, nigga?" And it cracked him with the bat. Instant hate crime, bro. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. That's the fucked up part right there.
Bro, it's wild, bro, because the other way around, it's not a hate crime. And that's why, man, honestly, man, I'm looking at just moving to like my honeycomb hideout in Central America full time. I just don't, and it's not because of Americans, bro. It ain't because of white liberals. I just don't want to be associated with niggas anymore. I don't want to pass the sniff test. I don't want anybody looking at me thinking I might be one of them.
Well, I got to disagree with you. It is because of white liberals. Even Tucker Carlson to tell you himself, right? Every time someone asks him, is he a racist? He tells you, I hate white liberals more than anyone. I also think that black people, for the most part, are absolutely retarded because they don't understand that the white liberals are the people that fought to keep you in slavery, are the KKK, and you're following them through all this as they are slowly getting back to their roots of making white people hate you.
But now, bro, the white liberal and the ninjas are on the same side. They're on the same
not.
team.
No, they're not.
They're not.
No.
The liberals think that, but the blacks will devour the liberals whenever given the opportunity.
No.
That's what the liberals will learn, and that's what's going to drive even more liberals to discover their whiteness.
No.
Okay, my apologies, fellas. I meant the same political team.
Incorrect. Both now to me, both of you are incorrect.
The same political team.
The white liberals know exactly what they're doing, right? If you think that, because again, remember, that's the party that fought to keep slavery, segregation, Klan, all of that.
I don't believe all that, bro, because I agree with the Klan. I 100% agree with the Klan's message. The Klan was right.
I'm not arguing the Klan's message. What I'm arguing is that those were Democrats, right? And so that same party today are leading the blacks right back into segregation and making white people have issues with them. And the blacks don't realize it. They think that they're getting something. Only thing they're getting is what the Democrats have always wanted and what they've been mad has happened.
Well, what took place, bro?
I want to play something. I want to play something for y'all.
I think the Democrats are basically cynically toying with partnering with this so-called anti-racist movement, and that is going to back whites against the wall and cause them to start seeing things racially in a way that they haven't in more than a generation, and that the net result of those two phenomena is that we are going to be headed to a conflict that nobody knows the way out of. And what's more, unlike our first Civil War, there's not even a geographic description of a solution. Right?
I'm not sure about that, though, because you have quite a lot of whites that are no longer interested or exhausted in their own identity who are not going to be taking up that war. So it gets a lot more complicated than white versus black.
I agree it's more complicated, but do you see a way that it ends acceptably? I mean, you have a well-armed rural white population that is now correctly understanding that it is being targeted by a mob that claims it's guilty of all sorts of things that it actually isn't guilty of yet.
Now, here's the thing about them correctly understanding the threat. You know, back in the day when it was just cable TV or you just had like 4 channels on your little black and white television or whatever, the news could fairly easily convince everybody that your average typical Negro was safe, charming, friendly, somebody you could maybe work with. And the problem that we're entering right now, the era that we're entering right now, is that this live stream, 24-hour, everything is on film, Instagram, TikTok kind of world is the worst excesses of Negro behavior are on display for everyone to see. And it's not just the random acts of violence and the stupid things that Negroes do at times. The actual calls to get back at Whitey are available to see now. It's not like it's hidden on the college campus and you had to come to that one lecture that one night to hear the professor talk about his genocidal passions. No, it's on Instagram, it's on Twitter. There are whole Twitter pages dedicated to recording this kind of thing. And it's like, I don't think you guys realize you're being watched and judged, and you have nothing to really defend yourself against, to defend yourselves with ultimately.
Well, here's the issue with the white liberal is the white liberal thinks in their way until it comes to their doorstep. And then after it comes to their doorstep 2 or 3 times, then the fringe element inside them clicks. And then they're all the way, they go from like middle of the road, white liberal to far right nationalists overnight once it comes to their doorstep. And that's why I was saying is that, the ninjas and the white liberal, they vote the same way. And, they kumbaya together. But what they don't understand is you got a whole panel of educated lame and just lame Carlton as, black dudes that are on the Roger Report saying it's a good thing that Whitey had it coming. And those dudes ain't real, real N-words. You know what I'm saying? Like all 3 of us, we're real, you know what I'm saying? And we get it. We've been there. We've been in the trenches.
No. I'm not a real. No.
Oh, you ain't? Okay.
Nothing. I'm a lame. Okay. I'm corny. Okay. I'm a punk. I'm all of that.
I've been there, man. I've been in the trenches, grew up with these dudes.
American Man was quick to say, I'm not like them. I'm not like them.
No. That real nigga label. My bad. Right? If this was 20 years ago, I may have accepted the real nigga label, but this label
you had it, ain't you? Stop.
No. Here's the problem. Here's why I won't accept it today. The real niggas today are also sucking cocks. I can't be associated. Oh, sorry, my bad. I forgot you monetized.
Yeah, bro, I'm keeping it G up here. Okay, so
but guys, the real dudes today, they're like in weird spaces, bro. I don't want no parts of that. No, thank you. I'm a lame. I'm on the sidewalk.
Yeah, you right there. But I'm just like, man, from our generation past, seeing what they did and like, but seeing these dudes the way they move now, and I'm seeing it all over, bro. Everywhere you look, you seeing it. That the majority of people who have that gene, whatever truism calls it, that gene, they fully okay with the white man, kid being laid out in this type of fashion. They don't want to hear reason. They don't want to hear logic. They don't want to see the facts. If you put it right in their face, all they care about is that a white man got taken down. Our ancestors are avenged. And the white liberal is clueless to this until it hits them in the face.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you're giving them too much. I think you think they're naive. I say they're nefarious. They know exactly what they're doing. And let me prove it. Let me prove it to you. Every city run by liberals is heavily segregated.
Who really runs those cities?
Liberals. That's why I said every city run by liberals are heavily segregated.
Okay,
they do all that talking, but they don't want you around them. They want segregation and separation.
Who really runs those cities, American man? Who's pulling the strings?
I just explained to you, bro. Liberals.
Nah, bro. I can't say it because it's monetized now. But
no. But guess what? They're liberals as well.
Yeah, but they have a completely different motivation to keep things separate and keep everybody at each other's throats.
I get it, but I'm just letting you know, right? Let's just stick to the surface where everyone got it going on. even in those heavily liberal
Right.
cities,
We staying on the surface with an American man. We staying up top.
like where they're all, you know, we love blacks and we love all this. It's heavily segregated. It's all this is being done on
real quick,
purpose.
American man. Real quick. Hey Dave, man, keep it G, man. Hood's monetized, all right? None of the crazy, all right?
It's all being done on
Hold on,
purpose.
Trey. I know you ain't talking. You'll get me demonetized for completely different reasons.
I'm not going there today, bro. That's why I'm letting Dave
You
know.
see my comment, I'm just calling in to be quiet. And if you want some expert opinion on something, I'll be glad to, use my expertise.
Well, you know what? Dave, you're a liberal and you think that those people are your friends. Explain to me what is it they're
I'm not
doing.
liberal, I'm renegade universal.
The American man, it's like, bro, most of me and Mrs. MED's friends think this way. Like the entertainment, nightclub era, everything that I worked in, I'd say maybe about 15% of the people I've dealt with in the last 13 years since I got the Army are conservative. And the most are white liberals, bro. And when I travel, I go places, I listen to them. They think, oh, poor black man. Oh, he don't know no better. Maybe I should just, I've dealt with white females that are like breed me because of the things my ancestors, did.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I won't go down that rabbit hole. Hood.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily arguing, right? I don't. So here's the thing, right? I don't believe the average person now that's liberal even understands how racist they are, right? And I don't believe that they're purposely waking up in the morning like, I'm going to be racist, right? I just think that the people that are running that party do have the same old racist, nefarious actions that they did in 1940.
And that's where I disagree, man. I think the people that were racist back then were racist for a reason. Just like the people that are racist now are racist for a reason. Recognize patterns. Man, I'm racist as hell. Like, you're daggone right, I recognize patterns. It will keep you alive. And I encourage, like, all my white friends, I'll tell them straight up, I wouldn't go there if I were you. I wouldn't go these places. You really want to go there? I would not do that if I were you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get it because I don't go there.
Yeah, like you're just as racist as me.
Like, I don't go there. Doesn't happen. Even when I go back home to New York, right? I go back through the old hood. I do the old wave and look around, and I'm out of there. I don't be hanging out with niggas. No, thank you. I had enough of y'all when we were growing up.
I bet you Dave is racist too.
Oh, Dave is the most racist, but he just played it off better.
No, not me. Not
See,
me.
there it goes.
Why
What's
do
his
you hang
stuff
out
with?
with us,
No,
Dave?
not me. You know what that goes. You know how that.
I got love for everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, we lost Hood, so we got to keep it clean, y'all. We lost Hood, but we got to keep it clean.
Yeah, I don't hate anybody, man. I hate people, individual people. And
It's not a hate thing.
No, I hate individual people because I realized, like, when people, it made me realize, like, when that tether battle and all that stuff was going on, it's like you take the power away from all of it when you just say, I don't like you, and I'm not gonna let you make me hate a whole country or a whole group of people. And it's like the power is zapped away. So once I saw that, it was like, at this point, do I think racism exists? Yeah, of course. Do I engage in that? No, man. Like, man, I got problems of my own, bro. Like, it take energy. It take energy, man.
And that's why I'm saying, Dave, that you're racist. You just don't get it. Is racism as the left defines it? Yeah, that's just some like fairy tale stuff. Racism, as I look at, is pattern recognition and will keep you alive. And I don't hate anybody. I got love for all of God's children. You know me, I've changed my ways. I've got love for Carmelo Anthony. But at the same time, I'm like, may God have mercy on your soul.
Did y'all address the fact that how the real Carmelo Anthony might be feeling?
Doesn't matter.
Nigga, did you ask Ja Rule how he might be feeling?
Hey, did you ask the running back Dave Metcalf how he might be feeling?
The real Carmelo Anthony is feeling great. He's on his way to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
I know that sucks.
His son's on his way to the
I wouldn't be saying nothing for like a whole month. That sucks.
But that's if you look at it, if you really look back at it, when these, folks, 3,000 or so Caucasians, 1,700 Negroes were getting hung by trees, the last thing that was done was they were read their rights. A pastor, a preacher, somebody came up, pulled out a Bible, and read some Bible verse, and then they kicked the horse.
Yeah, God plus guns equal justice.
No. I'm not going to go down that road, but I want to ask a different question a little bit. Because I was listening to, I'm not the only guy in all of internet land who's black and a little bit race conscious, like race real, and a little bit right leaning. And so I was listening to at least one guy host this conversation about racism. And he was kind of just making the point like, yeah, listen, there are actual differences in IQ and all that. It was really about the IQ thing. But it came up to be about like, they're talking about racism too at the same time. And the question is, for me, why do we act like racism itself is a sin? Nowhere in the Bible are you commanded to love not to love. You're commanded to love, but you're not commanded to ignore the differences in groups of people. Like, and honestly, if you really look at the Bible, you're commanded to be a little bit racist at times in the Bible. Because when the tribe was in the desert, right, and they were taking over the Holy Land, God was like, not only do you have to get rid of all those people, you can't even mix with those people. Don't touch their women. Like there was some OG biblical racism right there. And the only point I'm making is it's not a sin. It's just the reality of life. There are different groups of people, and you might have to be careful about protecting your own group against other groups. That's all that it really boils down to.
And Hood, man, I'll try to reply to you and keep it as PG as I can. This is why I have zero issues with true divestors, and why I used to hang out with them. The divestors whose conversation sounded a lot like ours, except they had that little black slant to it. But I have no issue when Brad scoops up a quiche and takes her over to like the Stars and Bars, the Klan side, where she's far right and she's like saying worse things than us. And she says she's going to move out to the country and make sure she removes any trace of the gene from her kids. I have no problem with that. I am like, hey, cool. Brad. I'm
kind of there with you. If there's one less black ratchet woman, then I'll probably just accept the terms,
Yeah. But I'll ask y'all this, since and I don't know if y'all have asked any community type folks this. With Savannah Craven, I've been friends with Savannah Craven before she blew up. Back during the whole walk away movement, the little girl that got punched in the face in New York, fine little red bone.
Yeah, I did a show about her last night.
Yeah, I was ghost watching, but I've been friends with her for 6 years before she went like viral. Would she have been right to pull out a knife and stab that freaking fat chick?
Not quite right. But if she would have gotten to a fight and the fat girl was whipping her out and she pulled out a knife, there's a little bit of a chain of violence I think I like to observe. Because, we are not savages here. I really don't believe in 0 to 100 nigga real quick.
Right,
but,
right.
If you got punched in the face and you punch her back, that's fine. I wouldn't trip on that, but I think to go lethal right away, it's probably not the best move.
The standard rules of street fighting says that once fists are thrown, the furthest you can go before it's an uptick is like a bottle on the street. Basically, anything laying in the vicinity is fair game.
But okay, so Dave, you're saying, in that case, that's second degree, right there. If you pick up a bottle when you got punched and swing, that's second degree manslaughter.
I didn't make the rules. All I did was apply it.
Now, So in that case, if Samantha would have pulled out a pew or stabbed her, she'd be looking at second-degree manslaughter.
But no pew. I said a bottle.
No, I'm just saying. A
brick, a rock. Those are like the legitimate things. Anything you can find on the ground or around in the vicinity. Once a street fight kick off, that's kind of like you got to know that.
Okay, so Dave, are you pro? Carmelo was right. Anthony was right.
No.
Okay,
that's school.
All right. So this is the problem I have with the
can't do
community.
none of that in school. If that was just in the streets, then it's a whole different ball game. But when you on school property, everything changed.
Yeah. So this is my issue with the community right now, and I ghost watch the community on TikTok and all social media, Instagram. They're just keying it up that Savannah got the 2-piece. The same people that are having a blast, the white man got it, making memes about, Austin Metcalf, are happy that Savannah caught the 2-piece from the chick.
Know why? You know why? Because the community, number one, is a monolith. They could sit down and pretend like they're not. They're a monolith. And most of them, in all honesty, don't like you cannot be have a different thought from the community. And so because she had a different thought from the community, they view her as the enemy.
My whole thing is kind of like this, and this is where I think that actions have to change. The days of being able to talk about somebody and expect a measured reaction or the reaction that you expect, those days is over. Like for me, I've been living in mind my business for like 20 years because I'm in Chicago. You start giving out opinions and talking in it, you liable to get whatever the hell happened to you. But I guess that didn't translate into the rest of the nation. But days of being able to people and and them not, talk back and be like, yo, watch what you saying, or it could be up and all that. Those days are over. So you can call people snowflake, all that. It ain't gonna change. Like it's a new breed. That's why I kind of be saying, like, I'm out Renegade Universal because, I know that you just can't be walking around and expressing your opinions on other people. You know what I'm saying? Because it just ain't them times no more, bro. That whole dialogue and debate, that ain't, we could do that here online, but in real life, the people be like, yo, you know what? Man, I don't want to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? If you keep talking to them, you liable to get whatever happened after that. That's just what it is out here in this world. You call it whatever you want, but it is what it is.
Well, here's the problem with that, Dave, is that these same people, though, feel like they can express their opinions on you.
I honestly, I don't have nobody. Only people that express their opinions on me is maybe my family. That's about it.
And me.
When I go outside, don't nobody be trying to tell me nothing. They don't try to explain nothing to me.
Well,
go ahead.
I'll say this, American. Okay, my bad, American man.
No. Go ahead. And I'm gonna just tell y'all a story after this real quick, and then I got to get out of here because I ain't trying to get beat up by my 10-year-old.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got to get back to work myself here on the computer. This is where I agree with Dave, and that white liberals and snowflake conservatives have this same problem. And Austin Metcalf and Savannah Craven fell victim to this. When you're dealing with a member of the community, and I get this from growing up around them, when it starts getting tense, you create space.
Yeah.
When you see them get emotional, you back up, you create space. If you don't have the burner on you, you know what? Let me just break contact.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why you saw. I said in the chat, I said once Austin saw him fiddling in the bag, you ain't creating no space. Once I see you reaching your hand in the bag, I'm backing up to see where we at.
Yeah, but when you grow up in that world where fisticuffs, where we throw hands and stuff like that, we settle it like men. But when you're not dealing with a man, when you're dealing with a maggle, when you're dealing with a strag or somebody with low emotional response, bad things happen. That's why I say, American man, I know you got it in you. I know you got that little, you still got the code up inside you.
Yeah, but that's not conducive to me moving forward as a man in society, and so I tend to just stay away from it altogether.
But I'll ask you this, man. It's like me. Before I get up out of here, do your kids know anything about that life?
Absolutely not.
No.
Exact same here, bro.
Absolutely not.
My son worked 2 weeks in the hood and didn't make it. He's like 6'3", 230. And he lasted 2 weeks working at
no matter what size you is. Just a bigger target. And, not saying like that, but but the size don't matter about anything. I don't want my kids to know half of this stuff that I didn't seen or done. None of that.
As big as he is, man.
But the weird part is that you still want them to have the same wherewithal that came with those experience. You know what I'm saying? That's the dual-edged strategy, because I got boys, so it's like, I'm so glad this, but you still want them to have some sense of, the surroundings, just the natural instinct that I kind of, you'll be walking around and you'll tell them like, did you see, you'll walk around maybe downtown or anywhere, you take them anywhere. And then after that whole situation, there's always going to be something that happened in public. You'd be like, did you see that? Did you see this? And just to check where they are. Or when I'm driving, now that, as they the oldest one slowly getting to saying, oh, I'm in the front seat, eventually wanting to drive. I'm like, you got to keep your eyes on the crazies. Do you know where the police at on the road? All those different things.
Yeah, I do something different. I actually point out the disgruntled blacks and say to my daughters, you see that? Don't be like those people. That's why you don't follow the things that they do and say, because you don't want to end up like those people.
Well, I'm like this. My daughters date white guys. One of my son.
Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Thank you for having me.
All right, American man.
Peace, American man. But my daughter, my son-in-law, white boy, my other daughter dating a white dude, and I tell them like, hey, certain areas don't go.
Yeah.
Because the community, men and women, are going to react in a certain way to antagonize you because of the person you're with. And so it's better that you just don't go in those areas.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true. Sad but true.
Yeah. It's definition. Yeah, it's definition racism, and you have to be a little racist to, keep yourself safe.
Oh, that's what you mean by racist. Okay.
Yeah.
I hate saying it. Then like shit. That's part of being in Chicago. Well, you gotta watch out for everybody. Like you gotta watch out for everybody, man. Shoot. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. If you want to put it like that, I don't like saying it like that, but we're going by behaviors and behaviors and not just race. And then you look at certain neighborhoods and stuff like that. Yeah, that's just common sense.
And it's funny the reaction even with Mississippi. Oh, my bad.
Hold on, we got a new guest on the panel. I want to kick the floor to McCoy real quick. Just ask you a question about where you stand. What do you think about one? What do you think about the whole Austin Metcalf incident? And then what do you think about Black people's response to it? Because I'm kind of bothered by the Black response to it.
Hey, first off, Hood, great to be here. Great to be in your church of misogyny. But for starters,
thank you.
I don't know if y'all familiar with. Yeah, I don't know if y'all familiar, but there's this dude on YouTube. His name's Ak Nation. So Ak, I've been listening to Ak. Yeah, AK Nation. Yeah, so he you know, he has been like his channel is solely black crime, but it goes a little bit more into detail of it. And bottom line is the most modern consensus is going to be DNA. It's in our DNA to kind of like do certain things. Now all that's already understood. So when this happened, when this Eric Metcalf thing happened, I didn't really think it was race. I didn't really think that race had anything to do with it, because Ak has something that he says. It's like, so it's just a pattern, a very pattern recognition of when you tell a son man, what he calls black people, when you tell a son man to leave, more than likely he's gonna come back and he's gonna shoot up the place. That's what always happens. Son man is asked to leave, people end up dead. So that's what Austin did. He told the son man to leave. He got stabbed. He got stabbed in the heart for it. So now the way that black people treated the thing, you know, I mean, it really bothered me. Trust me, it bothered me, but it bothered me enough to where I just don't even want to touch it. I don't want to sit here and debate anybody on what they say or all these little fake ass stories that they come create. It's like I don't even want to. I don't even want to engage in it because all it's gonna do is piss me off. You know, it's almost like me. It kind of reminds me of when the Trump assassination happened, and like literally 60 to 70% of the media was, oh, I wish he didn't. I wish he would have missed. I wish he didn't miss type shit. It's like, you see it, it's ugly. You can sit here and get mad. You can try and combat it, but what's the point? You know. So it's what they're gonna do, and they saw an opportunity, and yeah, he's gonna get 20 years. He's gonna get 20 years. They'll probably get him murdered too.
Because that's school property, man. You can't do that on school property. Everybody know that.
I mean, you know, you can't do it. And then, but you know, it's like we can't just say that he did it because he's a white boy, because we didn't see plenty of niggas get stabbed over nothing. It's like we know that a son man would just, you know, it doesn't really matter who it is. Yeah,
the difference, my man TR, is that if Carmelo had stabbed another black kid, there would be no news. We wouldn't even know about it.
Of course, that's why it's news. That's why it would not be news. It will not.
It wouldn't be to this degree, but it'll be definitely.
It wouldn't even be this. It wouldn't even be this. It wouldn't even. It might be mentioned in local news, and that's it.
It'll be national because it's at school.
Man, I mean, maybe, okay. Well, maybe ESPN would talk about it.
That's the problem.
Well, hold up, Dave. We're down here in Texas, man, in Houston. The black principal, he just had to the black dude. He just had to resign because the little black girl got stabbed and killed in his school. Like, most people don't know about that, man, unless you're here in Texas.
I don't know about it.
Texas falling off, man. I'm glad. I'm not glad to hear this, but it's better than
I mean, it's a wild west. Remember, it's liberal. Remember, it's ran by liberal cities. So Houston is like Chicago. Houston.
Y'all keep saying liberal cities. What is a Republican city then?
A Republican city is going to be a place where motherfuckers can't get away with shit. Because
no, just tell me name the city. Name the city.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
More of a county.
Provo, Utah. Jackson Hole, Idaho. You know, places. You know what? You think it's a Republican city? Any sundown town. Anything a ninja will call a sundown town.
I'm about a real city, man. Like where it's 1 million plus people. The only one you said was Salt Lake.
Big cities tend to be liberal.
I think maybe Phoenix, Arizona, maybe because they don't fuck around. They don't fuck around when it comes to DUI.
She said Miami. That's not a good example, bro.
Miami is like split down the middle.
Miami be wild, boy.
Yeah. When they crucify you, though. When they catch you in Miami, they will crucify you.
Yeah, they will. But it's the catch you part, man.
I mean, I don't know. I just Trust me, Hood. When you were talking about your disappointment, trust me, I get it. I mean, I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed that the place that I work at. I work with probably about 90% blacks, and I'm kind of realizing that I'm like the only person that voted for Trump. And then I'm sitting here, so everybody comes in. Every day I come in, they're looking at me, ready to start talking about tariffs and shit like that. And I'm like, hey, can y'all give me an example of like what's going on? They talking about, oh, he's shutting down the Department of Education. I'm like, the Department of Education is still in every state. And they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. Have you even done any research on any of this? And it's like every time I ask for it, I don't know. It just gets to the point to where I'm like it's like I'm dealing with the white people dealt with in 2008 when Obama won. It's like you can't tell them shit. I can't tell them nothing.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. And this is the problem. And I just a little anecdotal. I'm with a British liberal guy, my coach, as far as like day trading, and I'm watching him this morning. I didn't participate because I'm learning, even though I could have made crazy money, but I want to learn. So the Nasdaq went down about 1,800 points today. No, let me see. No, about 1,400 points today.
Everything was rallying today. It just lost again. Hold on.
No, we up.
Now we up today.
No.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
No. Hold on. I'm looking at it right here on the screen. Listen to me. The Nasdaq went up to 18,353 today, and currently the Nasdaq, it went all the way down to 16,971. Now, if you were part of that short, if you caught that ride going down, and just say if you had like playing in like 2 contracts on the micro, you would have walked away with $2,000 today. Easy money. But you asked them to explain that and what it's got to do with tariffs. They don't have no clue. They'll just tell you the stock market is down. Okay, how does that affect you? What effect does that have on your life? And they have no clue.
I told you yesterday, Trey, the numbers on the graph go down is bad. Numbers on the graph go up is good. That's all we know, Trey. Just trust the graph.
It's like they only have talking points. But look, when they ask me, but I have to kind of have receipts. I'm gonna have to have bookmarks pulled up on Twitter, and then even when I show them Twitter, they're still like, "Oh man, you're using Twitter as your source." It's like it doesn't really matter what I say, but they want proof. They want this, they want that. As a matter of fact, how the fuck is it that women are easier to communicate with than the dudes? I'm talking about heterosexual men.
I'll tell
and I'm
you,
sitting
bro,
here trying to have conversation.
Because you're conservative, bro. As a default, and this is what Magos don't understand. A default, women want conservative-based men. So even though you talking that coon stuff, the women rock with it. They just, when they get around niggas, when they get around, the monolith, they have to front. But on the backside, if they come highlight you in the break room, they trying to see what's up.
Yeah. Well, shoot. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't even consider myself to be a conservative. It's like, and that's another thing while we were talking about this white conundrum that these people got. Hood, I'm telling you, white people are in a conundrum right now, because you got these MAGA diehards that are Israel's our greatest ally, ready to go to war with Iran, and then you got these self-hating whites that that have like some kind of black racial idolatry, and meanwhile, the Juice Crew, the small hats, they eating off of both sides, So it's like it seems like they're playing. It seems like their plan is like working double time.
And TR, bro, that's why it's a weird time, bro, because Me, man, I'm far right as you can get, man. I already call myself a white supremacist of color, bro. I am like extremely far right. And it gets to a point where the far left and the far right sync up when it comes to things like, the small hats and, what's going on in Israel and the Middle East. And it's just a weird time we live in. And I look at conservatives, I look at them and I'm like, and I'll tell them, no, I'm not conservative. I'm not a Republican. I think I have conservative talking points and I have conservative values. But you guys that are conservative, basically hardline conservatives, you're simps, you're cucks. Your wives are probably in Vegas smashing Daquan and them because they can't see their hand in front of their face, basically.
That's the thing too. I noticed this with myself. Like there's an emptiness in just saying, well, I'm conservative. Like when you first said that a second ago, my initial thought was, I think I would call myself right wing. I mean, I say fascist, but I think right wing is just it's an easier sell for most people, obviously. But conservative, I don't really understand what conservatives are about so much sometimes. Because, the conservative movement is like full of, gay couples who adopted children they bought from Paraguay. It's a weird place to be sometimes.
Yeah, and they also believe in censorship. Like, man, it's like, I don't know. I don't like it.
Dang, I was supposed to be nice. I was supposed to be nice this chat. Can I just put the elephant in the room out there? It's real hard to be conservative when they don't like black people most of the time.
Oh, come on, man.
Dave, I'm not really trying to conserve what you think of as black. Black people as a physical existence aren't going away anytime soon. But what you're trying to preserve is Black America. I don't know if I want to preserve that. I want to preserve America. I want to preserve Western culture. I don't know if I want to preserve blackness in that way you're talking about.
I'm talking about at a fundamental. No, listen. I'm talking about at a fundamental level. The existence. I don't care whether you call yourself black or anything like that, but the existence is anti what they stand for. Your existence is. I think
can I say?
Hold on, let me say this one thing and I'll let you guys have Adam. Your existence, Dave, as I understand you using the word, it is your responsibility. Your existence has little bearing on the ideology of conservatism or being right wing. Your existence is literally in your hands, bro.
I know that, but I'm saying that the stance of a lot of what you said. I'm just trying to say this. What I see from the outside looking in, because I don't believe in either one of these parties. You know how I do it. You know what I'm saying? I think that, people should be buying the bonds because bonds control all politicians. But
see, you're falling into that trap, bro, of ideology versus politics.
Yeah, but from what I see,
hey, believe it or not, that's DNA. That is our DNA. And I'm not gonna say that I'm not included in that either. There might be some little animal instinct that I might resort back to. I like to say that I'm so far removed from it, but that race over everything, that might be some primitive DNA.
I didn't say that. I said if you want to control, whether left, right, I don't care. All politicians work for a bondholder. So with me, when it comes to politics, and I listen to a topic, I'll be like, oh, okay. But I know ultimately the solution is, you're going to have to put your money where your mouth is, and whoever want to collab on creating a bond fund for certain issues, those type of things, because that's literally every politician is beholden to a bond one way or another.
And Dave, I'll move away from the political spectrum because then we start getting to that topic that might get Hood demonetized. And I'll take it back to ideology and what you said about conservatives. Conservatives, by and large, bro, like your standard typical conservative, they're just live and let live. They don't give a damn, bro, what color you are. And they're the ones that truly believe in MLK's message. But at the same time, and the further we go down this rabbit hole where we're at now with like the Carmelo situation, those same conservatives have to think about their families. To be like, okay, I know what Malcolm said, and I'm judging them by their content or their character. I don't want to judge all, but I have to make a choice. Is it good for me to go to this basketball game in Memphis, or should I just stay up here in the mountains?
And you know what? That's the scary part right there for like the black side of the question.
Well, if you don't see color,
the scary part. That's the scary part, because what happens then is it raises the issue of what if they were always judging black people by the content of their character?
I'm pretty sure they were, and they just rewrote the history books.
Oh snap! Don't go that way, man. They gotta be demonetized, bro. And I'm trying. That's why Hood's on me, man, about not going down that route.
Dirty folks, what's good, bro?
Dave, let me ask you a question, bro.
What's up?
When is the last time a white boy beat you up?
Never.
Okay. When is the last time a white police officer put cocaine in your pocket and told you it was yours?
Never.
Never. Okay. At what point then does the crayon mess with your ideology of being able to exist? Here's the problem, right? White supremacy is something that black women did, but you can't blame your mama, right? 90% of the things y'all blame white supremacy on is really black women, right? Black on black crime. Crime comes from where you let black women rule shit. No, I'm just saying, but like,
let me say it one more time.
Trying to stop your identity of being black.
I'm not the one. I'm literally just regurgitating what the conservatives are saying.
The conservatives don't say that. The conservatives don't say that. The conservatives say,
"Oh my god,
they don't." Nigga, I've been hanging out with the black Republicans for 20 years, bro. It ain't number white people in that room and me and 3 other black guys. And the other 2 black guys got white wives, and I ain't married. Nigga, ain't nobody fucking with us.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Matter of fact,
no, stick with that. Ain't nobody fucking with y'all.
No,
that's exactly what I'm saying. Your whole separate thing is claiming something where the majority of what you claim don't give a flying fuck about you. That's exactly.
I would like to keep the profanity to a minimum.
Oh my bad,
bro. Black color, because you know when you play with the crayons, that's for children, right? So that makes you a male toddler, bro. Pro-black is male toddler, but don't worry about that part. Colors are so dumb. They are so uninformed that Congressman Willie Preston pops out with a family, a beautiful family. You know who you don't see in his family though? His wife. You know who he pull up with? Nah, I just lied. Willie wife is black. Willie pop up with his non-FBA black wife who don't look black and pop up linked out with I can't think of his name right now, from the Young Republicans, and they slid him down on a Democratic they put him as a Democrat on the ballot, but his entire thing was done by the black Republicans, bro. Like every piece of it. Only thing we don't see out of Af was because he support women because he got no daughters and a wife. And I'm like, you're gonna mess up your district, but don't worry about that part. Like all you gotta do. Donald Trump said this in '88. Man, I'm a Democrat, but if I ran for president, I say I'm Republican because they stupid. Black people stupid for the D. Pause.
Well, Dirty, you got a point there, man. What I was bringing up about conservatives is it's just like Byron Donalds down in Florida. Him and the governor. What's his name? The governor everybody loves, the white boy. Him and Byron Donalds. When it came down to it, they chose the women over manhood. Like the women come before conservatism. And that is the downfall of conservatives.
I was just saying how
well, no, Dave, you're coming from the point that conservatism as an ideology somehow was like anti-black. And I'm just
no.
That is white supremacy.
No, I'm saying as a gang, y'all ain't got no pull within the gang. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's a whole other thing. That's not what you said a minute ago. You're trying to change the
That's
subject.
exactly what I meant. I'm to the point where if y'all come in there and say, "Yo, this is what they're gonna say," man, this ain't got nothing to do with you. That's what I'm saying. They don't mess with y'all. That's exactly what I meant.
Because
I get what Dave's saying.
But Dave, when you say that, you mean on a racial line because you want to bring your
Yes,
black.
yes. I mean on a racial line.
Okay.
He does, and just like that, he's going to be supporting transgenderism and all that other stuff.
This is
He's
why
gonna
you
have
gotta
to go-
side eye all the black right wing people. You gotta haze these niggas to make sure they're not secretly liberal.
Yeah, I was
Bro,
confused
I've been
too.
watching Twitter. Like, hold on real quick, Dirty. I've been watching Twitter, man. You
I'm
got
just saying,
AB,
like,
hold
if
on
you
real
want
quick,
me to
Dave.
flip, you gotta have the 8-ball in the box Chevy. Y'all ain't got it.
It's a bad.
Dave,
It's
Dave,
bad.
hey, real quick, man. We're taking it back to Carmelo, man. I don't watch ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, flip back to the community for Carmelo. I don't watch Reclaim D1, that black dude that always hangs out with Pearl and Off Nation. He flipped back to freaking the community. And who else? Major Touré.
Amazing Lucas. He was the
Well,
first one I noticed. bro.
Marsharid, he's that dude's super.
Mash never flipped. Mash was always like that. He never flipped.
Yeah.
He's exactly where he
You
been.
hit on that. Brian Logan, I think he kind of is trying to save face a little bit. It's just my opinion. I think he probably is taking a lot of heat, so he's just gonna pick his spots. I don't really listen to him, so that's just.
All I'm saying is y'all own your own.
So,
No.
Y'all ain't
I'm
getting
gonna
no
embrace the y'all. Wait,
discrimination. Y'all ain't
I'm
getting
gonna
no
embrace the y'all. Okay, check this out. If you look at who voted, bro, the y'all you talking about, if you take out where black women get to be mayor, if you take out where the colors are, the whole nation was red, bro. The only blue points was like Chicago,
all
Atlanta.
the cities, basically the city.
Right. The all you talking about is like America.
because what happened, I'm telling you, Dave, you had classic
Cognitive
liberals,
dissonance,
you
no.
had MAGA, you had far right folks, and you had your standard typical church going conservatives.
Okay,
all coming
okay,
together.
I'm gonna rephrase it like this, right? So whatever party, right? Okay, let's say I'm a Republican, right? I vote a Republican, I'm all for Trump, right? Things is getting passed out. Like, man, thanks for the support, man. You hooked it up, bro. What do y'all get? What did
you ask for? What did you ask for, bro? That's the problem with colors. Colors listen to girls, and girls don't have a plan. So you don't have a plan except you plan to have behind a chick. So let me tell you something, Tyler, too. When and your girl, what's the goofy chick down there in Texas who cursing everything, but she college educated?
Crockett.
Yeah, Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett got a whole thing like that. I'm trying to take down the Republican Party.
16 years, man. I ain't voted in like 16 years, though.
Bro, Jasmine Crockett, your queen mother goddess,
None of these people
was told she gonna destroy everything.
They got a backer too.
She gonna destroy everything.
I came up on America with Hurricane Katrina, man.
Bro, y'all gotta talk one at a time. Y'all keep stepping all over each other's lines and stuff.
No, I'm trying to answer Dave. I came up here for Dave. I told you I'm gonna turn out Dave or kill him one or the other. Anyway, when they asked Jasmine, "What's your plan?" She said, "I'll be honest, I have no plans." She said, "I'm an elected official. My job is to create laws. I'm a lawyer, and I don't have a law. I don't have a policy. My only policy is to stop Trump from doing policies." So when I ask black people, "What's your plan?" and everybody like, "My plan is just to be blame it on white supremacy." I'm like, all right.
Most black politics start and stop at finding white supremacy. Like, there's nothing beyond the fight against white supremacy, and this is why I really don't care for the way most black people politic. There's no real like spirit to it. You just like hate the white man. Your whole sense of politics is hate the white people, and that's not really politics. That's just niggas, bro.
And the thing that kills me, Dave, and this is where I wanted to ask you, Dave, is before it's like even all the fellas on the panel, like what does politics really do for you in the end as a man? As a man, I look at it as regardless of who's in office, you still got to go out there and get it to feed your family and feed yourself.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Whoever gets elected, you can't cry and go sit in the corner and put your thumb in your mouth.
Exactly. That's why I don't vote. I'm a non-voter, bro. Because I don't believe in neither one of these people. You're preaching to the choir. I'm living that. That's why I say universal renegade.
But that's what I'm saying. But do you pick a side though, Dave? Like
No,
what side
Dave.
would benefit you?
Me. I picked me.
Okay.
Dave's on the left.
Oh my God, man.
No,
He's
I
on
would
the
say
left.
Dave.
I mean,
I would say
this is
Dave
the
is
conversation
slightly
I had
right.
with John.
Yeah.
Maybe, but he's definitely Orange Man bad.
I give Dave slightly right of ninjas.
And I'm gonna tell you the truth of what I think about Trump. If black people couldn't get political gains like dollars to the closest to their zip code out of Trump, then we fail because he ain't really a good politician. That's why I said I liked him. It's just nobody has an organized plan on how to get money. Like I'm down with how you gonna get this money as close to my zip code as possible.
You know what's crazy about that? If you tell a person a plan, they won't do it. They want you to do it for them. And if you do it for them, then they want to kill you and take the wealth. Like there's nothing good about color. Look, bro, y'all need freedom. Y'all need a place like Freedom Valley. Y'all won't let me call it slavery no more. Y'all need freedom. Y'all need a place somebody will think for you. Somebody will handle everything for you, but you will have nothing to be happy. You need freedom. Thinking is too much for a lot of colors. You need freedom, bro.
And this is why I think TR, you brought it up earlier, man, about I don't know, was you or Dave brought it up about
right next to me. I
about
don't know what freedom you talking about.
hold on real quick, Dave, about large conservative cities versus large liberal cities. And I think it's the fact that as I look at myself,
you can't name any large conservative cities. That's the point.
I'll get to why, David. Because when you're right leaning, whether you're conservative, far right, or you're just a separatist, you don't care about who's giving you the handout. You don't care about the policies. If your side, you want to be as far away from all that mess as possible. Like me, I don't want to live in San Antonio. I live way on the outskirts of it. I don't care what's going on in San Antonio. I don't care who's elected. I'm going to do me out here in the cut. If need be, I'll just get a whole bunch of guns, plant a final protective fire, and bring it.
But if San Antonio don't exist, wherever you're at ain't worth what it's worth.
What does that matter? I'll go out there and freaking hunt and kill and provide for my family.
I think we gotta just move on from you right now because I don't really get the point of this any longer.
I don't either.
Well,
that's fine. That's fine.
mean, that's what. Look, they're an opposition party. That's what they got to do. They got to oppose everything. So that's what they do. It's tribalism. It's Negroes from Negro land. That's what it really is.
Yeah. Crunchyroll says blacks just want anarchy. There's no real mission. And I think that's relatively true. Black people don't have a building mission. We're on a destruction mission. We want to destroy white supremacy, really. Like if you listen to the politicians and all, that's what the black thought leaders are about. They're not on a build mission. So it's kind of true.
Well, Hood, I mean, to you and Dave, I got a question for you and not Dirty. Not Dave, my bad, Dave, but you and Dirty. If blacks want anarchy, but at the same time they want all these policies from like these liberal cities, what are they going to do if they get anarchy?
Blacks want freedom. Freedom and anarchy is like love and hate. It's the same emotion, right? Anarchy and freedom to colors, especially women, is to be able to operate with no rules, but everybody else has them, right? So they want to be omnipotent. So when you're asking, like when they say, why can't blacks be conservative? They don't want lower taxes. Why? Taxes pay for jail and Section 8. They need higher taxes so they can create anarchy. You need more idle time to create freedom, to have freedom. When people talk about I'm my own man, I don't need to follow no man, that means you don't believe in hierarchy, you don't believe in legacy, you don't believe in the logo. You want freedom. You want freedom from all constraint. The problem with that is,
hold on, Dirty Fella. Let me throw something out there real quick because I'm about to drive through a dead zone. You talk about rules, and I think what happened with Anthony and Metcalf, black rules collided with white rules, and we apparently live by different rules. And this is going to become a more political hot button as the years go by.
Hey, the rules of the law and the rules of the jungle.
but it's not even the rules of the jungle. I would give you I wish it were. The rules of the jungle are natural law. This is the new normal. This ain't the rules of the jungle.
Nah,
The rules of the jungle is
No, this
no
is
turning.
Lord of the Flies type shit.
Well, Negro Land, you brought it up, TRs. Negro Land operates separate of the jungle. And as I brought up before, I don't know if you heard me, Dirty, that the Ghanaians are kind of like, there's a certain group of Ghanaians that are hot, that Black Americans are coming over there in droves because they don't want white supremacy, figuratively instituted like ninjas did in Liberia.
Yeah,
You know what?
Dirty.
They also are, and they're also worried about.
So I got to
like,
disagree with you, Dirty. I think, Dirty, I think Black people here in the United States want to be ruled by a king.
I
That's what they
always say
want.
that.
Black
I
people
always
don't,
say that.
huh?
They want to be ruled
Black
by a
people
queen.
don't really want freedom. Like they don't want freedom. They want to be told what to do. That's the reason why you look at all the women. They want to be ran under the white man, right? And every time when a black man challenges the white man, who's the first person to tell a black man to simmer down and let the white man do what he wants? It's a black woman.
Look, bro, I've always said Black people want a king. However, when I say that, people tell me I ain't gonna get grant money because I can't talk about slavery. So they want freedom, bro. They want Freedom Valley.
My experience with Tyler, they ain't getting no king.
But
We can't call it a king. We got to come up with another term for it.
we already got the term. My boy told me. He said he's director of operation.
I keep telling you on that.
My boy told me, he said, man, you program direct. That's what he called me, program director. He was like, Freedom Valley, program director. Like,
that's what Black people need, a national program director.
Yeah.
When you have the gene, and it's been said, like in the Joseph Conrad days after Negro and Negro Land, that those with the gene of darker persuasion need a dictator. And if you look at basically El Salvador, Bukele, the only way to go from the most dangerous savage country in the world to the safest was with a a man of Middle Eastern descent dictator. They had to have their own Gaddafi to come in and clean up the country and lock everybody up. And Bukele's looking America straight in the face and telling us this is the only way to save your country.
I don't know, but this ain't El Salvador ain't America. Like I'm talking about from in America. Like I guess Dirty will probably tell you this better. All you have to do is ask him, do you think there's gonna be one king of Chicago? No, it's not gonna happen.
Program director.
Yes.
The closest you can have is a damn round table. That's about it.
No.
But I would say this for Black people, those with the gene, Black people that believe in Black, to survive and for the nation to survive, a reset has to take place. Just kind of can I go down the rabbit hole just a tiny bit here? Just a tiny bit. I won't do anything to cause disruption to the monetization. And it's just, I'm not, my channel, y'all, 1860s, a reset supposedly happened. They killed all the adults and they created these HBCUs to put all the kids in to brainwash them, to make the white man the enemy. And in the 1920s, all the way up to the 60s, they ramped it up. White man bad. Basically to create this thought process amongst Black people now.
To pull you back from whatever cliff this is, I will say this.
This is a cliff for real.
That conversation about Black men going to HBCUs, I think, is interesting because on the one hand, you're complaining that Black men are showing up at the HBCUs. Black men are also trending rightward too. But HBCUs are where you go to become a leftist, a Black leftist. That's prime left-leaning territory right there.
Can I make a comment? Because I went to HBC. I went to Morehouse, right? And all my friends, like I got friends that went to Fisk, Tuskegee. I was in Tuskegee. I guess the Orange Crush, that was off the chain. All the Black colleges, right? And I didn't see none of that. Like wasn't nobody like I'm trying to like what you see on campus, like right now.
Hold on, Dave, real quick. What year did you go, Dave?
From 96, 2000.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come on, man. shit has changed so much since.
It changed so way, but at the
Not
night.
even that. Not I call bullshit because this issue's been around since School Days, the movie. You not from Mama Africa. Niggas been on that shit for a long time, Dave.
Yeah, brother, but we talking about 1996 to 2000. Like, what nobody on that? Like the things that you seeing right now, like where they go into these grown-up people go into campuses and be debating, like that would never happen to they not. I don't know how they do it on a black campus because at the end of the day, they would have been moved on.
I'll help you out, Dave.
They would have been laid out like, "No, you grown and you trying to argue with man, get the hell out of here, man."
Dave,
Like,
let me help you out, Dave. Hold on real quick, Dirty. I went to school right up the street from HU.
Right.
All my homies, played ball with. They went to HU. I went to William and Mary, right up the street. I go down to Hampton. Hampton they had a program director. Hampton, they kept them basically on lockdown. They had no freedoms because they get to wilding out. They go play Norfolk State. They be fighting in the yard afterwards. Cash and Norfolk State will be fighting.
Right.
So they had to have a program director and be corralled. What happened after Obama? Oh, let's have freedoms. We can't, give them freedom of speech and all these different things, rights and all these things. And what happened once the program directors were removed in HBCUs? Now they wild as hell and effeminate.
And you know what else is true about that? Because I was at an HBCU in the 90s. And I remember, I don't remember much about school, but I remember being in the day room and there was this girl talking real saucy to the tight end, right? I played halfback. I was with the tight end. She was like in jest, but real sassy, like this girl smarter than boys. Y'all some meatheads. All y'all do is play football, blah, blah, blah.
I thought you was gonna say fullback.
And the TE was like, "Shorty, maybe men are so smart we play dumb to make you do the work for us." And we walked away and she looked all incredulous. And I thought it was funny at the time as a 17-year-old kid, but now that I'm looking back, because we were part of the generation led by boomers, like, yo, let the girls be smart. Like the Annie, right? Annie was my dad's generation. I could do anything better than you.
Annie.
Like that was my dad's 1940s like show. So all this push to tell men to dumb down to make girls feel important. Black people really did it. All these girls that we mad about now, the Lori Lightfoots and all that, they was in college with us in the 90s, bro. This is our fault. We should have out-fived them in the day room, bro, in the quad.
And like Lori, like black people. I don't know what black people did. I just know I didn't. Like,
because you ain't getting no ass in college, apparently. Because if you did, you would have wanted to out-5 them, bro. College is a place where a bunch of girls get away from the supervision and bust down everything moving, bro.
I ain't got time for that. Shit, I'm just happy I ain't get shot before I went to college. That shit was like, I'm happy. It's some type of peace.
Look, you can get shot at the HBCUs. They don't even talk about it. That's the quiet thing right there, bro. Niggas be getting capped at HBCU. But look, we gotta wrap this up. We gotta wrap this up. Actually, I took you on the road to go overtime, but I'm at my destination now, and I got things I gotta go do. So we gotta end this one. But, shout out to the panelists, man. Appreciate y'all guys coming up. But I will catch y'all. I might come back tomorrow, man. Ever since I got monetized, I suddenly want to do this like every single day now. So
congratulations, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
I've been grinding a whole couple of months, man. But
all right, man, be safe.
I'm gonna catch y'all later, man. Thanks, man. Peace. Shout out to everybody in the audience. Do me a big favor as you make your way out. Please subscribe to the channel. We got to grow this channel, man. I got to pump these numbers up. Got to tap into the algorithm. We're gonna do things. We're gonna do things, but I need your help to do these things. So you got to press all the little buttons on the screen and do the little things and whatnot. But appreciate you guys for supporting the show. We are out of here. Have a great day, man. I'll catch y'all later.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.